Follow the light. And humans are the same. Except we call that light hope.
Bonjour tout le monde, c'est Karma Gaming et bienvenue sur... Re-bienvenue plutôt sur Genshin Impact. Comme vous le savez, il y a 2 semaines à peu près, je dirais. Il y a beaucoup de choses qui sont sorties. C'est-à-dire Escoffier, Navia qui est de retour. Et bien sûr la nouvelle arme et l'arme de Navia aussi. J'ai essayé d'avoir Escoffier, je ne l'ai pas eu parce que je suis actuellement pauvre en primo. Mais ça, c'est pas le sujet. Aujourd'hui, ce qu'on va faire, c'est l'histoire d'Escoffier. Parce qu'elle m'a l'air intéressante. Une seule raison. Allez. On va pas perdre plus de temps. Je sais pas combien de temps elle dure, mais normalement, les histoires dans Genshin, ils durent un petit moment. Donc, on va commencer. Je sais rien de l'histoire, je sais juste qu'il va peut-être avoir Furina. C'est tout.
Hey, Navia! What you up to? Shh!
Oh, elle est en train d'espionner quelqu'un. Qu'est-ce que vous mijotez?
Get lost, Monica! I don't want to see you back here until you're ready to
Oh.
wake up and start doing things properly! Right now, you're a disgrace to my kitchen and to the Hotel de Boer name!
It was an accident.
I'm sorry, did you hear me asking for excuses?
No, I'll do better, I promise. Why is she so aggressive? She won't even listen to what the poor girl has to say. Oh, hey, cut her some slack. You gotta at least hear her out. Wait!
Huh? Who do you think you are telling me? Wait a sec. Navia? So, you're bringing backup now. Suit yourself! You're still wasting your time!
Alors, c'est quoi le problème?
Savannah, is this how you always treat your staff?
My staff is right. I'm the one in charge here now. And last time I checked, the Hotel de Boer doesn't take orders from the Spina di Rosula.
Of course. How you run your kitchen is none of our business. But when a member of your staff is so overworked he becomes gravely ill, that most definitely is our business. We're going to stand up for him, whether you like it or not.
Overworked? I've said
Je
it
pense pas
before
qu'ils allaient
and I'll
commencer
say it
avec
again.
une
If
chicane.
Vermont can't handle the job, then tough luck. There are plenty of other capable people I can hire instead.
But Philmont can do the job, he just...
Monica, back inside, now!
Huh? But you said I shouldn't come back until...
Just do as you're told, and not another word out of you! Come on, we have work to do!
Wow! What a horrible person! Sorry. Looks like I've dragged you into some drama again.
Qui est cette personne?
Her name is Savannah. She's the new head chef at Hotel de Boer. Ever since she took the job, she's been enforcing a brutal work regime and putting a huge amount of pressure on her staff. One guy was so
pourquoi elle est
overworked,
encore
he
là?
collapsed from illness. He's been bedridden for days, and he can barely even talk properly.
Oh, flashback.
I'm sorry. It's all my fault. I don't deserve to be a chef.
At his family's request, the Spina di Rosula is trying to mediate on his behalf. We're not exactly making a ton of progress, as you saw.
Pas vraiment, hein?
Savannah is adamant that Vermont's exhaustion and illness have nothing to do with her or how she's been running her kitchen. She's refusing to have any kind of
Et
meaningful
pourquoi
dialogue
on
with
rentre pas à
us.
l'intérieur pour checker ce
Our
qui se
next
passe?
thought was to talk to the other chefs at the restaurant, and get a better idea of their working conditions. But with Savannah watching them like a hawk, no one has been willing to open up. And that's why I'm here, doing it the old-fashioned way.
Vous attendiez que
Camping
ça...
out, watching, and waiting for an opportunity.
Vous attendiez que Savannah parte?
Oh, shoot! It all makes sense now. Sorry. Paimon should have thunk before she spoke. Did Paimon ruin everything?
Un peu, ouais.
Oh, no, not at all, Paimon. Honestly, the way she was laying into Monica, someone had to step in. I'm sure I would have piped up if you hadn't. And besides, I don't really think I'm built for espionage.
Savannah va redoubler de vigilance maintenant.
Yeah, meaning it's gonna be all the more difficult to get the inside scoop now. Oh, I might as well head back to the Fleuve Cendre then. We'll need to come up with a whole new game plan. Paimon will join you, cause this is kinda all Paimon's fault.
Je viens avec vous aussi.
Oh, guys,
Ben, je vais
it's
pas laisser
fine.
Paimon y aller tout seul non
You
plus.
don't need to worry about it. That said, if you were planning to visit the Fleuve Cendre anyway, let me take you out for a meal. I'll make sure it's a proper
Oh, ça fait
feast.
plaisir, un petit
A really
festin.
famous chef just joined the Spina di Rosula's tavern. Her name is...
Ah!
Sorry to interrupt.
Ah, je suis à
I just
Escoffier.
wanted to apologize for the scene you witnessed just now. We shouldn't subject our customers to that. This is a small token from us. It's some candy from Monica. She asked me to make sure it was delivered into your hands.
Monica's the one apologizing? Huh. Clearly Savannah is the one who owes an apology.
Our head chef has been a little highly strung lately. Sorry for everything.
Arrête de compliquer les choses, Paimon.
Alright. Since there's candy, Paimon will drop it. Not the candy.
Thank you for understanding. We'll make sure to pass your feedback on to Miss Savannah.
A little highly strung, huh?
Un peu trop tendu, ouais. Avec une chef cuisinière pareille, même les serveurs sont en cran.
Paimon doesn't get it. How did someone like her even become head chef? Well,
Peut-être qu'il y a personne
according to
d'autre.
Fermat's family, she hasn't always been like this. But that's a story for another time. Let's try this candy.
Vous avez toujours ce penchant pour les sucreries.
Oh, Paimon totally gets it. Come on, dig in! Huh? Hold on, there's something written on the
Ça devient
wrapper.
intéressant, là.
Find Escoffier?
Allez voir Escoffier. Et pourquoi donc? Ah, là, on la commence pour de vrai, la quête.
Escoffier? Could this mean...
Alors, on voit Escoffier. On va se rendre au fleuve cendré.
You know that name, Navia?
C'est pas si loin que ça,
Yeah.
on va y aller.
Let's stick to the plan and go back to the Fleuve Cendre for now. That's where we'll find Escoffier anyway.
Allons-y. Je sais que je pourrais... Ah, en fait, juste me téléporter, non? Peut-être plus simple de même. Je voulais y aller en marchant parce que... Il parlait, mais là, c'est bon.
So, who is this Escoffier anyway?
Si je devrais deviner, c'est leur nouvelle chef.
Well, for starters, she used to be the head
Ben,
chef
chef
at the
cuisinière.
Hotel de Boer, before Savannah. She recreated the legendary Gâteau de Boer and restored the restaurant back to its former glory.
Oh oh, et pourquoi elle a
Safe to
quitté?
say, she's the most renowned head chef in the Hotel de Boer's history, after the culinary genius Modeste himself. Gâteau de Boer? That's the super exclusive cake that they only sell a few slices a day, right? Wow. Why the heck would she let Savannah take her place? Well, apparently, the Hotel de Boer was reported for a safety incident. Someone claims that the kitchen was adding an illegal substance to their menu.
Ah ouais, comment cette personne
But none
pourrait
of the
savoir?
chefs had any idea how it could have gotten into the food. In the end, Escoffier decided that as
À la
head chef,
forteresse de
she should take
Mérapide.
responsibility. And she was sent to the fortress of Mérapide. The fortress of Mérapide?
À ce point-là. On s'est fait envoyer là-bas aussi pour avoir mangé le gâteau de quelqu'un d'autre.
Well, you're right.
The quantity of the substance they found was fairly minimal. Even the guards believed the whole thing was probably just an accident. Escoffier didn't have to stay in the fortress for long, but still, by the time she returned, the role of head chef had already passed to Savannah.
Et elle a pas pu récupérer son rôle du coup.
So that's what happened. Paimon still thinks it's really unfair.
Un peu, oui.
Even though Escoffier is no longer head chef at the hotel, she's still well respected by the staff. So, I'm guessing what Monica wants is for us to convince Escoffier to try and negotiate with Savannah on the staff's behalf.
Oh, Paimon gets it! Monica wants Escoffier to come back and kick Savannah out.
C'est à peu près ça.
It's simple. If
En
the new
résumé.
head chef is stressing everyone out, then the solution is just get the old one back.
Ouais, mais ça risque d'être compliqué, là.
Well, about that.
Ouais, c'est ça.
You thought cream of mushroom soup was ready to serve after 3.5 minutes on the stove.
C'est Escoffier, ça?
You'd have had more sense serving hot water with ice cubes. At least then you wouldn't have wasted all this perfectly good cream and mushroom. What do you say, Hilaire?
I'm sorry, Cream. I'm sorry.
C'est quoi ça?
Mushroom.
C'est excuse à la
As
crème et
you
aux
can
champignons.
see, Escoffier is that kind of chef as well.
Ouais, mais si t'es pas sévère en tant que chef, personne va rien comprendre, non? Comment l'hôtel des bars s'en est sorti jusque-là?
You have to leave it on the heat for long enough to allow those flavors the chance to come out. Don't be fooled by the aroma when the water first starts to boil. Got it?
En fait, elle est sévère,
Yes, chef.
mais elle
Then
explique
go
correctement les
back
choses.
and do it again. The customers are still waiting. Remember where you went wrong and don't repeat the same mistake twice.
Non, j'aime bien les cœurs dans ses yeux.
Yes, Chef.
Excuse us,
Waiting to be served? Sorry, we're pretty busy. I'm afraid you have to join the line.
Oh, no, we're not here to eat.
So you're not paying customers? Then I'm afraid the wait will be even longer.
Oh,
It's hard to talk to Escoffier when she's in the zone. Let's take a seat. We can catch up while we wait.
bonne idée, j'imagine qu'on va devoir attendre la fin de son shift.
Looks like the rush hour is finally over. Is it always this busy here?
Ben maintenant que Escoffier, j'imagine que
These
oui.
days, yes. I'd say business has tripled since
Triplé.
Escoffier joined
À
as
ce point-là.
temporary head chef.
Elle ne voulait pas retourner à l'hôtel des bords?
Well, in her words, the Hotel de Bourg doesn't need her anymore. It doesn't look like she's got any plans to go back.
On parie qu'à la fin de l'histoire, elle retourne.
I guess I'll be heading off then.
Wait, take these home with you. We can't serve them now, and there's no sense in letting them go to waste.
Oh, thank you, Chef.
Donc elle est sévère mais gentille en même temps.
Like I said, I just don't want them going to waste. Oh, and tell Fiamma to get well soon, so you're not running yourself ragged every single shift.
Firmo. That's the second time we've heard that name. Who is that again?
He's the chef that fell ill from stress. Hilaire is his son. And with Mom stuck at home taking care of Dad, he decided to pick up some work to help pay the bills. Escoffier knows their situation, so she's been making some extra food every day for him to take home.
Hey, I heard that, Navia. I've told you before, no one's making extra food. Hilaire is making blunders in the kitchen, and I can't serve his failed dishes, so he might as well take them home.
Ouais, c'est ce que tu dis, mais en fait.
Yeah, failed
exactement ce que
dishes
Navia a
that
dit.
just so happen to be nutritionally complete every single time.
Ouais, c'est étrange, hein?
So you two must be the world-famous traveler and his companion, Paimon.
Elle parle fort, non?
Is there something I can help you with?
Oh, so you know us already.
Et son visage va pas avec sa voix non plus, je trouve.
We're here to talk about Savannah?
Comme Hilaire travaille avec vous, vous devez sans doute être au courant de la situation avec Savannah.
Oh, I certainly am. The Spina's headquarters are right next to the tavern. And I've lost count of the number of times Navi has come to pester me about it. But I don't work for the Hotel de Boer anymore. And being ex-head chef doesn't give me the right to interfere with that business.
Non, mais il va falloir quand même faire quelque
I'm
chose.
the one who persuaded Savannah to take the job in the first place.
Ah oui?
What?
Well, she was a much gentler person back then. A little timid even. She wasn't at all confident that she was the right fit for the role.
That's hard to believe. Are we definitely talking about the same Savannah here?
Honestly, I do wonder if she's just emulating me. I mean, I'm not the most pleasant head chef to be around either.
Au moins, elle en est consciente.
Anyway, suffice to say that given the history between us, it'll be tricky for me to tell her she's doing her job wrong without coming across like a huge hypocrite. Fiamar and the others probably think that Savannah gets it all from me.
I wouldn't be so sure about that, Escoffier. Look at this note we got from Monica.
Vous donnez l'emballage de Bourbon de Monica à Escoffier.
She mentioned me.
Whatever shortcomings you feel you have, it looks like Monica still trusts you. As for the others, well, how can you know what they think unless you ask them?
Monica.
Elle peut toujours essayer, hein?
Plus, it's not like we're asking you to storm in there and raise hell. We're only in the initial phase of our investigation. All we're trying to do is get the other chefs to open up to us.
Oh, Monica. Oh, Monica.
Pourquoi on dirait qu'elle est bien énervée?
Escoffier?
C'est quoi le
I
problème?
can't believe her. Powdered sugar is supposed to be applied sparingly. Look at all that on the wrapper. It's thicker than the sole of my shoe. Unbelievable. I won't stand for this. She has to learn. Come on, we're going.
D'accord.
Wait,
Allons-y.
she's,
Ah, peu importe la raison, au moins, elle veut bien en discuter.
Let's go catch up to her. We don't want to keep her waiting.
Non, tu m'étonnes. Je m'attendais pas à ce qu'elle ait une attitude comme ça, hein, Escoffier. Mais j'aime bien, c'est plutôt drôle. Je me demande comment elle est en tant que personnage jouable. Parce que j'ai déjà essayé, mais je connais pas ses répliques ni rien. Ça peut être drôle. Ouais, il faut retourner à l'hôtel. Non, pas l'hôtel. Oui, l'hôtel. Le restaurant. Peu importe. Ouais, non, c'est l'hôtel, c'est ça. Je suis pas... Je me suis pas trompé. Allez, bonjour, bonjour.
Wait, she looks like... Is that a Escoffier?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I messed up your order.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. Maybe the taste is a little off, but if you hadn't brought it up, I don't think I would have noticed.
Mais comment elle a remarqué du coup?
But please, you have to forgive me or Chef is gonna... Okay, I know. I'll kneel before you.
Wow, c'est
What the
exagéré.
heck?
Get up, Monica. Can't you see that you're just making your customer feel more awkward?
Escoffier?
If you want forgiveness, then do what any self-respecting chef would do. Make the dish again. And this time, get it right. You cannot go begging your customers to feel sorry for you.
Savannah said that I'm not allowed back in the kitchen until I've corrected my mistake. But if I can't go back into the kitchen, I can't do the dish over.
Ah, ça dit, c'est exagéré là un peu.
Backwards logic? How can you fix your mistake without being allowed to cook?
C'est ça, c'est un peu bizarre.
Je
Je pense que c'est plus ce qu'elle dit, Savannah.
We apologize for interrupting your meal, sir.
It's fine. With my layman's palate, it's not like I can tell the difference anyway. I was actually quite enjoying my meal until she appeared out of nowhere and started apologizing. Gave me a bit of a fright, to be honest.
Oh, well, it's because Chef Savannah tasted a bit of the leftover soup from my pot and then threw me out of
Ah,
the
c'est ça qui s'est
kitchen.
passé. Je me demandais comment il savait
That's pretty
que la
strict.
soupe était pas bonne.
Has she
Ben,
always
pas
been that
bonne.
way? I don't recall things being like this when Escoffier was head chef here. I gotta say, you're all looking a little worse for wear these days.
I mean, Escoffier was strict too, but I
Ouais,
think
c'est
the
ça.
difference
C'est ce
is
que je
that
cherchais
her
tantôt, ces
criticism
critiques
was
ont
more
été
constructive.
C'est
So
ça.
you knew what you did wrong and how to improve, and
Mais c'est ça que j'ai
we all
remarqué quand elle
knew
parlait
that
à,
it came from a good place.
au fils de l'autre
Chef
tantôt.
Escoffier was hard on us because she truly wanted us to reach her level. But these days, whenever we make a mistake, we just get told to wake up, get your head in the game, or just do it again. And it's only gotten worse since word got out that Chef Escoffier had started working again in the Fleuve Cendre.
Monica, you don't need to call me chef. I'm not the boss here anymore.
Yeah, but through no fault of your own, what happened back then, that wasn't on you, and all of us know that. That banquet was a huge event, and so many staff were involved every step of the way. With so many moving parts, there's no way of knowing how that lumiline ended up in the food we served. Lumiline?
C'est quoi de la lumiline?
What's that?
J'ai jamais entendu ça, moi.
A new drug from the Fontaine Research
Oh, un
Institute,
médicament.
produced from an extract of the lumitoile. Apparently, it sharpens the senses, so they used it to treat people with impaired responses to stimuli.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. They found out you can use it as a flavor enhancer since it stimulates the taste buds. Makes things pretty addictive.
Oh, alors c'est vraiment une drogue.
They also found that overuse can have mood-altering effects, and even lead to nerve damage.
Oh.
So it quickly ended up on the guard's list of controlled substances.
Alors Savannah pourrait peut-être en consommer en ce
However,
moment.
Some food products containing the additive had already made it to the market by the time the guards banned it from the restaurant industry.
Everyone knows that in all likelihood, someone probably just purchased a batch of contaminated ingredients by mistake.
Donc ça se peut que
But
Savannah en
you
consomme,
took
mais
all
peut-être
the
addict,
blame.
hein, en vrai.
We all know why. You just didn't want to see this turn into a place where tensions are constantly running high. Because everyone's suspicious of each other all the time. And now look at you. A fry chef in the Fleuve Cendre.
What are you trying to say? Sure, the Spina's Tavern is no Hotel de Boer, but come on. It's not that bad, is it?
Un peu quand même.
Oh, the Fleuve Cendre, you say? Great. That's where I'm dining from now on.
Monica, I'm very
Et un
happy
client
with my
plus.
current job. And there's no changing the past. We just have to let bygones be bygones. Besides, at the end of the day, I was the head chef, regardless of whose mistake it was. Ultimately, the responsibility lay with me.
Ouais, mais
If
quand même,
only
c'est un peu
Savannah
injuste.
was half the boss you were.
I'm sorry? Do you have a problem with my conduct as head chef?
Oui.
No. No, chef.
So, you do remember who's boss. Escoffier? I thought you'd left this place for good. What are you doing back here?
What happened to you, Savannah? Why are you acting like this? When I turned this place over to you,
You made me the head chef and gave up your right to tell me how to do my job. You're not the boss here anymore, so stop acting like you own the place.
Oh, j'ai envie de donner une claque.
Sounds like
Oh.
someone has a chip on her shoulder.
On devrait peut-être les laisser. Non.
Oh, Savannah!
Voilà, voilà.
My God, have you
Énerve-toi,
grown a temper
Escoffier.
since I last saw you? Have you put even half the amount of energy into improving your cooking skills, or are you still using the Pluie Lotus as an off-brand marcotte, thinking no one can tell the difference?
That's none of your business!
What happened to not storming in and raising hell?
Oublie.
Oh, I was not expecting to see something this spicy as soon as Escoffier returned.
Huh? Fanasium?
Aye, miladies. Might
Me
I make
ladies.
a humble suggestion? Given that we have ourselves a tête-à-tête between chefs at the Hotel de Boer, I dare say it would be de rigueur to settle this the
Un peu plus, il parle
traditional way.
français, là.
The traditional way? That can only mean one thing.
Oh, un combat de bouffe, c'est ça? Qu'est-ce que ça va encore être cette fois-ci?
That's right. I'm talking, of course, about
Yes.
the tradition established by
Concours de
Modeste
cuisine.
himself.
Ça va être intéressant, là.
The cooking contest!
According to legend, the founders of Hotel de Boer, Modeste and Savelli, used this method to resolve all of their disputes. Everything from petty arguments over next
Ben,
week's
je sens que ça va
menu
être plus
to
simple, hein.
disagreements
Ça va
over
être
the
un peu simple.
strategic direction of the
Sûr
restaurant.
qu'Escoffier gagne.
The cooking contest would decide who had the final say.
Savannah perd.
Huh.
Escoffier gagne, c'est sûr.
Sounds like they had a lot of free time on their hands.
Ah, well, it might sound that way to us. But in fact, the cooking contest played an enormous role in motivating chefs
Un énorme
to hone
rôle,
their
ouais.
skills, reaching new heights of excellence in the culinary arts.
Culinary
And
Arts.
indeed,
Oui, c'est ça.
the reintroduction of this
Parle français,
institution in
t'inquiète.
recent years has surely been instrumental in transforming the Hotel de Boer into the top-ranking restaurant in Fontaine.
Une fontaine.
Reintroduction? Someone brought it back? Who?
Escoffier? Elle a l'air de
What
sentir
say
coupable.
you, Escoffier? Surely you of all people won't back down from this challenge. It was
Voilà,
you
je
who put the
savais.
rule in place after all.
Je le savais.
Sure, I reinstated it, but I'm not a chef at Hotel de Boer anymore. Isn't this bending the rules a little?
I see no issue as long as both sides agree to the terms. We could simply treat it as an exhibition.
On paraît qu'elle
of
accepte pas,
sorts.
Savannah.
Savannah, any objections?
Exhibition.
À part
No.
si elle accepte.
If we're going to battle it out, let's put it all on the line.
Oh.
If I lose, it's up to you what happens to me.
Ah, ça va être intéressant, ça.
I don't want anything to happen to you.
But if you lose, you hand over the Codex de Boer to me.
What? The Codex de Boer?
Le Codex des Bois. Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Only the legendary handbook written by the original head chef Modeste. It contains all his secret recipes, including Gâteau de Boer. It's the greatest
Oh.
treasure in Fontaine's culinary world. And only the present and former head chefs of the Hotel de Boer have the right to read it.
Present and former. Wait, but that already includes Savannah, though.
What do you want that old thing for? You have your own copy, don't you?
Ah, elle veut l'original, c'est ça?
Don't take me for a fool. You know perfectly well what I mean. I want your copy, the original version, the one you took with you when you left us.
I'm sorry, I must be missing something. You know, there's no difference between the original and the copy, right? They contain the exact same recipes.
Stop trying to change the topic. What's wrong, Escoffier? Scared you're gonna lose to me? Or are you scared of me getting my hands on the original codex?
Je déteste Savannah.
Savannah, you may remember that we gave her the original as a parting gift to thank Escoffier for her years of service. Asking for it back feels a little,
Ouais, mais s'en fout un peu, Savannah, on dirait.
Oh, I'm sure it won't be an issue, as long as both sides agree to the terms. Those were your words, weren't they? And as for the contest
C'est Chaine de dire
itself,
ça.
let's make it a bake-off. Gâteau de Boer, per the recipe in the codex. Well, Escoffier, you against me. Are you in or out?
You sound surprisingly confident. All right then, let's see how much you've actually grown. I hope you surprise me, Savannah. I'd hate to find out that all you've learned after this long is how to chew people's heads off.
Believe me, I'll show you.
Je sais qu'elle va perdre
Escoffier,
lamentablement.
Are you sure this is a good idea? You accepted her terms a little hastily.
Oh, it'll be fine. Let's head back to the Fleuve Cendres so I can get prepping.
Allez, au fleuve cendré. Je sens qu'on va faire beaucoup d'allers-retours entre ces deux endroits cette fois-ci. Mais pour l'instant, j'aime bien l'histoire. On n'en voit pas souvent des chicanes dans Genshin. En tout cas, des vraies chicanes.
So, this whole bake-off thing kind of came out of nowhere. Was it really sensible to just go along with it?
Well, I got a sense that she's holding something back. But we chefs always express ourselves in our cooking. So if she won't talk, this might be the best way to find out what's really going on with her.
Huh? Holding back? Sure didn't sound that way to Paimon.
Escoffier only picked up on it because she's the same way. Always closed off, never letting you know what she really thinks.
That's patently false, at least where your macarons are concerned. I've been nothing but truthful with you about the disgraceful amount of sugar you use.
Okay, that's one case where you can keep your thoughts to yourself.
Bref, qu'est-ce que ce codex débord qui l'obsède à ce point?
Oh, that? Well, it's not so much a recipe book as a diary of Modeste's adventures. Back in the day, he and his good friend Savelli explored far and wide, partly adventuring, partly looking for new ingredients and developing new recipes. Their creations had an enormous influence on the course of Fontaine cuisine, turning it into a much more vibrant and diverse scene. For instance, legend has it that the original Gâteau de Bourg was made using a special secret ingredient that Modeste discovered on one of his adventures.
Il a l'air bon le gâteau.
So rare was the ingredient that they could never make more than 16 slices of the cake per day. But everyone who tried it claimed that it was one of the most blissful and invigorating things they had ever tasted.
Il a l'air bon, mais tu prends 5 kilos d'un coup en mangeant.
The original Hôtel de Bourg, which catapulted them to stardom in Fontaine's culinary world. Especially Modeste. He was hailed as a once-in-a-generation genius. And over time, the recipes from his adventure log became known as the Codex de Bourg.
Ah, Paimon's heard this kind of story before. Armed with the Codex, the Hôtel de Bourg took its rightful place as the finest restaurant in the land, serving those recipes for centuries to come. Something like that?
What? No, of course not. Cooking is a constantly evolving art form. How could any restaurant survive if they only served food that was popular last century? Anyway, never mind centuries. Savelli and Modeste parted ways not even 10 years after their rise to fame. Then, Modeste passed away while he was still in his prime.
Oh.
And that was it. The end of the Hôtel de Bourg's heyday. It fell into decline, and for most of its history, it was just a nondescript place with a couple of cheap tables. It's only in recent decades that it started recovering.
Oh oui, comment?
Even then, it still took numerous relocations and changes of management before we finally ended up with Vanigem and the restaurant we have today.
Oh! So the Codex really isn't all that, then. Paimon figured it was like one of those mystical books they have in Liyue's martial arts novels, where the main character learns all their secret powers from.
Yes, well, that's fiction, and this is reality. You can't meet the tastes of modern diners by following some ancient recipes from a dusty old book.
Case in point. Even the Gâteau de Bourg they sell now is actually Escoffier's reimagination.
Ah oui?
Wait, really? Why though? Didn't that recipe make it into the Codex?
It did, but like I said, it's the dusty old book now, and the records aren't as legible as they once were.
Ah, on va devoir
Not to
retrouver
mention that there's
l'ingrédient.
no way of finding the secret ingredient Modeste wrote about.
C'est ça, on va refaire le méga gâteau à place de
reimagination
suivre
is
la
right.
recette.
I consulted some historical records and took what I could from the Codex. But ultimately, the Gâteau de Bourg of today is my own recipe. As for why we gave it the same name and kept the tradition of only selling 16 slices a day, well, you've got Vanigem's business sense to thank for that.
Oh. Huh. Well, that kind of takes all the mystique out of it.
Hey now, it might not be the original Gâteau de Bourg, but it's still the most delicious cake in Fontaine today. And who knows, maybe Escoffier's version is more suited to your palate. Just think, if the original truly was the perfect cake you're imagining it to be, there's no way the recipe would have been lost to history, right? Not to mention that the Hôtel de Bourg never would have fallen into a slump.
Anyway, before I left my role as head chef, I made a copy of all the recipes from the Codex, including my own improved versions, and turned them over to Savannah.
So why is she so interested in the original copy?
Wow, on peut
Could
pas
it
savoir
be
ça.
a symbolic thing? Like, whoever holds the original Codex de Bourg is the true head chef?
Well, it was clearly precious enough to give to Escoffier as a parting gift. Meanwhile, Savannah only got a copy. Maybe from her point of view, It's like management doesn't truly see her as being worthy of the role.
Ben, c'est le cas.
You
Donc
think
bon.
so? The only thing is, it was her suggestion to give me the original in the first place. Ugh, well, a joint decision by her and Venegem. But still.
What? Huh. Guess she's had a major
Ouais, je parie quand même que ça a un rapport avec la drogue. Je
Yeesh.
suis sûr et certain.
Who knows? We could speculate forever. Better to just let our gato do the talking. It
C'est-à-dire?
means vesting her in this bake-off, and then getting her to explain herself, even if I have to beat it out of her with a spatula.
Vous n'y allez pas de main morte.
However much she's changed since we worked together, I believe that she still has her chef's pride. And if she respects the art, she'll respect the outcome of our contest.
Well, I'm confident that you and your spatula can get justice for Froment. All you need to do now is win the contest. But that should be a breeze for you.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Gâteau de bourg is very complicated to make. Usually, it takes 3 chefs working in tandem to cover everything.
Oh.
Now, if I had to push it, I could probably do the work of 3 chefs myself. But I'd prefer to play it safe if I can find a couple of assistants.
On est là, on va
Well,
aider.
that's easy. The 3 of us are veterans in the kitchen. You just
Oui.
need to pick 2 of us.
Well, I have heard the Traveler is an accomplished cook,
Je
as
suis
well
un
as a
cuisinier
warrior.
très bon.
But be warned, I will hold you to exceptionally high standards.
J'ai hâte.
Think you're up to the task?
C'est parti.
Oh, count me in too. I've spent weeks perfecting my macarons after your scathing review. Even if it means competing against the Traveler, so be it. I'll show you what I'm made of.
Confident.
Allez.
I like it. Alright, let's start with some elementary mise en place.
Vos
Show me
talons au
your
couteau,
knife
hein. C'est parti. Je sais pas ce qu'il va falloir faire, mais je suis prêt. Oh! Montrez à Escoffier vos talons au couteau. Vous devez utiliser des attaques normales pour couper les fruits. On dirait qu'il va ramasser les tranches et les transformer en une sorte de substance sublime.
I've always
Okay.
called it chopping stuff up, not mise en place. But
Allez,
it's
tac,
basically
tac,
the
tac,
same
tac,
thing,
tac,
right?
tac. Quoi, qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Looks like you found that easier than I expected.
Ben, c'est pas si dur que ça non plus. Fallait que j'utilise les attaques normales.
Thankfully, it was pretty straightforward in the end. You made it sound like we'd be carving statues out of fruits or something.
Well, brace yourself, because the next step is anything but straightforward. I'll be using this cold press to extract flavor compounds from the ingredients.
Qu'est-ce que
A
c'est?
kind of special food processor I got the Fontaine Research Institute to make for me. It uses cold temperature extraction to isolate the essence of cooking ingredients,
Ben, ça doit être
which
pratique
can
avec
then be used
sa
to
vision.
flavor dishes more precisely. But this isn't exactly standard kitchen equipment, so that probably didn't make a whole lot of sense. Let me give you a demonstration instead.
Affichez votre maîtrise de la presse au froid. Vous devez utiliser votre compétence élémentaire avec un appui simple pour accélérer les progrès de la presse à froid, puis utiliser d'attaques normales pour qu'elle se mette en action. On dirait que la substance spéciale extraite des plantes sera utile.
Custom
Okay.
made equipment from the Fontaine Research Institute, huh? That's some pretty
Et voilà.
high-tech food prep. I'm a
C'est pas dur.
And done. These are the flavor compounds extracted from our ingredients. I processed all the fruit you chopped up earlier.
C'est plutôt rapide, faut dire.
Wow! Even the smell is so much more concentrated. What next? Do we add all this stuff in?
Absolutely not! Throwing everything in at once will ruin the balance of flavors. We have to go slowly and carefully to calibrate the exact flavor we want. I'll demonstrate again. Now, watch closely.
Ok, apprenez sous l'aide d'Escoffier et maîtrisez sa cuisine de précision. Les arômes obtenus grâce à son robot multifonction permettent d'ajuster le profil gustatif de votre plat. Trouver un équilibre entre les arômes fruités et les arômes floraux en ajustant le profil gustatif vous permettra de cuisiner avec précision de délicieux plats. D'accord, alors faut juste
Slowly and
Ok, alors je dirais qu'il faut rajouter un peu de ça. Oh, peut-être pas. Un peu de ça. Je dirais 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. L'autre c'est 6. Donc il faudrait mettre ça à 5. Et là comme ça. On est bon? Yes! Assaisonnement terminé. Wouhou!
And voila!
Et voilà!
Now it's your turn.
Ah, ok, je dois refaire la même chose. Grâce au conseil des... Ok, d'accord, c'est beau.
Not terrible. Considering this was everyone's first time blending flavor extracts, it could have been worse. But the traveler's work was surprisingly
Yes.
good. Are you sure you've
Continue
never
de
done
me
this
faire
before?
des compliments.
You got almost perfect results on your first try.
C'est parce qu'on me l'a bien enseigné. Enseigné.
That goes without saying. Still, credit where credit's due. You did well.
Merci,
All
merci.
right, now for the part I've been looking forward to. I want each of you to cook something from the Hotel du Bois' current menu. I'll judge your submissions and give you a final score.
Une note
That's
finale.
right. The true test of your cooking skills is the finished product. It'll be good practice for the contest itself. Now get to it. Chop chop!
Chop chop. Ok, alors.
How's it going? Have you picked a dish yet? Choose wisely. I expect you to present the most delicious thing on the menu.
Le plus délicieux. Ben, j'ai juste un truc sur moi, donc... Des macarons, hein? Je suis sûr en plus quelqu'un me les a offerts. Je suis sûr que je les ai même pas fait moi-même. Allez. Le visage d'Escoffier s'illumine quand vous lui présentez votre plan.
Look at that! With the grace of a snow-winged goose, as I like to say. Now, let the grating commence.
Alors, c'est quoi ma note?
Pretty good, right? Not to brag or anything, but Paimon's a bit of a connoisseur when it comes to la food.
Mais... Sais-tu vraiment
6
cuisiner?
points.
What?
Non, c'est ce que je me disais.
Well, fair enough. Paimon doesn't cook all that often, so as long as it's a pass.
That's 6 out of 100.
Oh!
You say you're a connoisseur, but it's quite clear from this dish that you have far more experience consuming food than creating it.
Au moins, elle a
By
raison.
that logic, I suppose you think listening to Lady Farina on repeat every day would make you an opera singer.
Aww.
Oh! Son cœur s'est cassé.
Next. I'll have you know that this batch of macarons has 2 whole tablespoons less sugar than my previous ones.
So you went from 12 tablespoons to 10?
Oh!
Well, it's nice to know you actually measured it out. Because it tastes like you just threw in whatever was left in the jar. 6 points.
6. Elle aussi, elle est triste. Qu'est-ce qu'elle est sévère?
Now to the final dish.
Allez, vas-y. 100%.
So, what do you think?
This is our last hope.
8
Vas-y.
points.
8.
Darn, that's barely higher than
Attends,
what we
attends.
thought.
C'est pas fini.
Not exactly. The color is spot on. Beautiful aroma. Excellent presentation.
Et donc, c'est quoi le problème, du coup?
I have to give this one 8 points.
Bon,
out of
ok.
10. Maybe even 9 points.
How did you pull that off?
Yeah! Je passe mon temps de faire manger, Paimon.
Don't get me wrong. There's room for improvement. But still, this is clearly the work of an accomplished chef.
Oh, c'est rapide, ça.
I can tell that you've put many hours of work into honing your skills in the kitchen.
Je sais, je
I
sais.
can really taste the grace of the snow-winged goose in this dish. The traveler's journey, with all its trials, tribulations, and setbacks. Not
On
to
m'a
mention
offert
the
un plat de
frustrations
macarons,
of
mais
having a picky
tranquille.
eater for a partner.
Hey, you made that last part up. No way did you taste that.
Well, it looks like I lost fair and square. I guess you'll be taking the Traveler as one of your assistants then?
But if it takes 3 chefs, that still leaves 1 slot remaining. Maybe.
Est-ce que Furina va nous aider? Je sais pas, je me dis qu'elle va peut-être être là. J'ai vu qu'elle allait être
Chef
là à un moment donné.
Escoffier.
Oh, it's Hilaire.
Oh, il a aidé peut-être.
I heard the news about the cooking contest. You're doing Gâteau de Bois, right? I was just wondering if you needed any help.
And you think you're up to the task, do you?
Oh, no, I know I'm not there yet. It's actually my dad who wanted to help.
Firma,
Ah oui.
last I
Il va un peu
heard,
mieux.
you could barely get out of bed.
Chef Escoffier, Navia, Traveler, thank you all so much for everything you're doing for me and my family. I've had enough of sitting around at home while you run yourselves ragged. If you let me, I'd like to help you win this cooking contest.
Vous êtes sûr d'avoir la force pour ça, Firmin?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Don't you worry. I'll be fine. I'm feeling much better now. I'm sorry.
On dirait pas, vu
I
comment tu
know I've
parles.
been rather useless these past few days, but not anymore. The fact is, I'm a fine chef, despite recent events. I've proven myself in the Hotel de Bourg kitchen, so if anyone's qualified to work under Chef Escoffier, it's me. I think. I mean, I hope so.
Firma, have you even set foot in a kitchen since leaving Hotel de Bourg?
I have not, but I'm fully rested now. I know I can handle it. I'll prove it. Let me whip something up for you right now.
Je sais pas comment ça va être.
That's strange. Why are my hands shaking?
T'es devenu traumatisé, man.
What do you call this?
Il va avoir besoin de thérapie.
I can't seem to grip my knife.
Do it again! Again! Again!
Wow, c'est intense.
I...
Hopeless. Get out of my kitchen yesterday.
Dad, what's wrong?
Il a pas l'air d'aller bien, non?
I don't understand. I was feeling so much better, and then Will I never be able to work in a kitchen again?
Dad, talk to me. What happened?
I think the real issue here is not physical exhaustion, but psychological trauma.
Monica, when did you get here?
J'ai même pas remarqué votre arrivée.
Probably because you were all concentrating so hard on your cooking. I didn't want to interrupt your flow. But anyway, Firmin, I'm so sorry. If only I'd known how serious your situation was, I would have stood up for you sooner.
You have nothing to apologize for, Monica. During those long nights of redoing every order, you were the only person who looked out for me.
Oh, come on. All I did was make you some tea. I doubt it was much help. Savannah was so ruthless toward you. I probably should have brought you something stronger.
She sounds like the
T'as un café?
worst. All right, another Savannah horror story. Let's hear it.
She's been getting harsher and harsher on us ever since she heard about Escoffier's new role in the Fleuve Cendre. Seems like no matter what we make, she'll find something wrong with it.
What is this? It looks like a dog's been at it. In the trash now!
Then she orders us to redo the dish again and again, but we never know what's going to make her
Vous avez
happy.
du gaspillage de bouffe.
Do it again, do it again, do it again!
Every time you remake it, you just get another earful from her.
Either straighten yourself out or get out of my kitchen!
So now, it seems like just picking up a kitchen utensil gives me flashbacks of her yelling at me.
Oh man, that must be awful.
The more I want to get it perfect, the more my hands shake, and the more scared I am of making another mistake.
How can you give up so easily, Firma? You weren't a quitter when you were working for me. And even under Savannah, you talk about working late into the night trying to perfect your dishes. That says to me that you still hadn't lost that determination to prove yourself. What changed?
I don't know what's come over me. When I think back, I just remember feeling like my heart and my hands were growing heavier and heavier as the shift went on. Each time I had to redo a dish, my heart sank a little further. Maybe Savannah was right. Maybe I am just hopeless at this.
Ouais, non, c'est pas une bonne idée de se dire ça. Et pourquoi le fils, on dirait qu'il a une voix d'homme âgé?
Well, it sounds like there are some deep issues
pas
at work
âgé,
here.
mais
Ones that won't
adulte
be
au moins.
resolved by merely seeking compensation. I will win this contest, and after that, I encourage you to approach Savannah and talk this out.
But what if you can't find another assistant in time? Clearly, I'm in no state to help
Allez,
out.
Furina! Non, je sais pas.
You think being one person short will ruin my chances? Let's not forget, I taught you and her
Je suis
everything you
quasiment
know.
sûr.
Even if I had to go it
Quasiment sûr que Fiona va
alone,
venir.
I would present the perfect gâteau.
Oh, well, Paimon and Nadia will still keep practicing, just in case.
And so will I.
Yeah! And if worse comes to worse, we can always get the Spina di Rosula to put out an emergency call for chefs. There's gotta be someone out there, right?
Et Monica, elle peut pas aider en vrai?
I thought maybe I could help. That's sort of why I'm here.
What? Why didn't you say so?
I was going to, but then... well, this is the first chance I got.
You do this for us? Thank you so much,
Oui,
Monica.
c'est sûr, on aurait dû y penser plus tôt.
Alright, fine by me. But aren't you still working for Savannah? Joining the
Non, on
other
s'en fout,
side
rendu là.
seems like a guaranteed way to put your future employment in jeopardy.
I know, but it's all right. I've made up my mind.
Ouais.
With the way things are,
Mais si
I
Escoffier
can't keep working
gagne,
for Savannah much longer
c'est
anyway.
correct.
Unless I want to become the next Fermat. I'm done with sucking it up. It's time to try and turn things around. If this cooking contest can get Savannah to see the error of her ways, then I'm sure she'll forgive me for this.
J'espère que vous avez raison.
Well, Paimon didn't think we'd be poaching from Savannah's staff to get our third person, but there you go. Anyway, Monica's a professional chef, so nothing could possibly go wrong now.
Great.
On sait
Then
jamais.
it's settled. And to congratulate you all on making the team, I propose a Spina-sponsored meal to celebrate.
Spina sponsored? Wait, you mean I'm cooking?
Well, I promised the traveler a feast
C'est
in
un
the
peu chiant ça
Fleur
quand
Centre.
même.
And I know how much you've been looking forward to it.
Mais je sens que ça va être très bon. Je peux aller dans la cuisine.
Alright, if you insist, then prepare for some of the finest food of your lives.
Oh oh oh! Escoffier vous prépare un festin grandiose. Avec mon aide, bien sûr. Escoffier a opté pour une grande variété de plats. Heureusement, nous sommes tous les deux assez compétents pour que cette première collaboration se déroule bien.
That's not a bad idea, actually. Wait, hold on. You need to finesse that further.
Elle m'a beaucoup complimenté, mais j'ai aussi beaucoup appris. Le temps est passé vite.
That was a dream come true.
Attendez.
Paimon never knew
Allez,
Fontanian
bon,
cuisine
Escoffier.
could be this good.
Elle est pas si loin. Je pensais qu'elle aurait été peut-être plus loin. Donc quoi? Un peu stressé?
Why,
Ah non,
Savannah?
même pas.
Why?
Qu'est-ce que vous faites?
Oh, nothing. I was just flicking through the original Codex de Boer.
Ouais, peut-être qu'elle pense qu'il y a quelque
I
chose
wanted to see if there
de
was
plus.
anything I'm missing. Something I hadn't noticed before. That might explain why Savannah's so desperate to get her hands on it. But I can't find anything. It's just some hastily scribbled recipes in between diary entries from Modeste's adventuring phase. And most of it's not even legible anymore. The copy I gave her not only has all the recipes in full, but even includes my own private tips and notes from years of experience. Surely that's infinitely more useful than this old thing.
Pour elle, il ne s'agit probablement pas d'une question d'utilité, mais plutôt d'une question de fierté en tant que chef.
Yeah, maybe. Still, it's just hard for me to imagine that the Savannah I knew would go to all this effort just to make a point.
Vous étiez amis?
We were. At least I always thought we were. She was a little shy, but meticulous with everything and everyone she dealt with. She made a few mistakes here and there, but she was quick to correct them whenever they were pointed out. And she was always striving to improve as a chef. Those qualities are why I recommended her to replace me as head chef. I never imagined for 1 second that she'd cause Fiamma and the other staff so much grief.
J'ai l'impression que vous vous blâmez en partie pour ce qui s'est passé. C'est vrai que c'est elle qui l'a recommandé, mais
Well, I mean to an extent, of
qui en a pu
course.
recommander
I
d'autres?
pushed hard for her to get the role. And the idea that she turned out like this because of me is difficult to come to terms with.
Ouais, bon, c'est pas encore c'est à cause de toi.
I wonder if this is how Modeste felt back when he was writing the Codex.
En parlant de Modeste, il a aussi un peu différent. Il a aussi eu un différent avec quelqu'un, non?
Yes, with his good friend and co-founder of the Hotel de Boer, Savelli. The story goes that after Modeste unveiled his Gâteau de Boer and was hailed as a culinary genius, he was admired and adored by all. But his newfound fame slowly drove him and Savelli apart. Unlike Modeste, whose every new creation was an instant hit, Savelli seemed to face setbacks at every turn. Doors that would swing wide open for Modeste would shut in Savelli's face. And with Modeste being whisked off to all manner of functions by his celebrity friends, he had less and less time to discuss the
En
culinary
fait, une
arts
histoire
with
basique
Savelli.
entre deux amis qui vont
People
au
started
restaurant, quoi.
gossiping about Savelli, and their relationship between the two gradually soured.
Qu'est-ce qui leur est arrivé à la fin?
Everything came to an abrupt end when Modeste, still in the prime of his life and still hailed as a genius, suddenly died from an acute illness. And that was it. They neither had a decisive split, nor got the chance to properly reconcile. Their story just came to an end. One rumor had it that Savelli actually killed Modeste out of jealousy,
Oh!
even as the latter was hoping to make amends.
C'est vrai?
Unlikely. It's a popular theory, but there's no real basis for it. At least there are no records of Savelli ever being convicted of a crime. Still, beyond a point, there's no way of knowing what truly happened in the past. All we can do is try to make sure the present doesn't quite go as badly. And that's why I have to win this contest tomorrow. Then get the truth about everything that's been going on, even if it means cracking her open like a nut.
Quoi? Même si je dois forcer, ok. Avec moi dans l'équipe, on ne peut pas perdre.
Really? Well, I like the confidence. Don't let me down tomorrow then. You better bring your A game.
Allez, je suis prêt à faire le meilleur plat de ma vie. Et donc, maintenant, il faut que j'assoie. Attendez, midi 16h, ok. Midi 16h. Je vais pas l'attendre, mais... Midi 16h. On va se mettre pile à midi. Oh, j'ai une pile. Et voilà. Et on est bon. Donc, yay! Tout de suite. C'est drôle d'entendre parler français des fois. Ben, français. À peu près. Ok.
Did you hear the news? Escoffier's coming back for a cooking contest.
Tout le monde a entendu parler, je sens que ça va être très populaire.
In a cooking contest. Now that I've got to see.
I don't get it. Why would anyone in their right mind challenge her to a cooking contest?
Pour avoir quelque chose qu'il veut, j'imagine. Bon, on rentre maintenant. C'est parti. Ça commence direct ou...
Mesdames et messieurs,
Oh,
welcome one and all to the Hotel de Bord and to this most
je parie que c'est un
exciting
Français qui a parlé pour de vrai, là.
contests.
Savannah, I've brought the original copy of the codex you asked for.
Monica? Huh.
Elle fait quand même un peu peur, hein?
In the interests of fairness, this contest will be conducted in a double-blind format.
Peut-être que ça va être
Once the
une...
dishes are complete,
Peut-être
they
qu'elle va
will be
déguster
sent to the
Furna.
back of the kitchen
Peut-être qu'elle est
where
pas dans
they'll
l'histoire,
each
ouais.
receive a label.
Peut-être qu'elle est
The
dans...
labels will be placed
Dans le
out
nouveau
of sight
intermède... Dans le nouvel
underneath
intermède.
the plates, only to be
Je sais pas, ouais.
revealed after the judges have sampled them and reached a final
Il me
verdict.
semble que j'ai juste vu dans le trailer.
This is to ensure that no one will know which dish is made by which contestant.
As one of the
Ça
judges,
m'a l'air intéressant, ça.
I promise to be fair and impartial.
When my meal got interrupted yesterday, I never thought this is how they'd make it up to me. Getting a seat on the judging panel is a pretty sweet deal.
Both contestants have taken their positions.
Their
Then,
positions.
without further ado,
Without further
let the
ado.
Hotel de Bord cooking contest.
Let the Hotel de Bord Cooking Contest commence. Tout facile de parler de même en vrai. Gâteau des bords, première couche. Complétez l'objectif en utilisant le moins possible, tout en obtenant. D'accord. Je pense que je sais ce qu'il faut faire. Ah, ok, ouais, c'est ça. Cuisiner un gâteau des bords. Grâce à la cuisson de précision qui a fait la fierté d'Escoffier, vous utilisez la table d'assaisonnement pour aromatiser votre œuvre après avoir obtenu des arômes sur la planche à découper et dans la presse à froid. Les deux types d'arômes doivent être ajoutés en quantité suffisante pour assurer la richesse du goût. Ajoutez suffisamment des deux avant de tenter d'équilibrer un profil gustatif. L'enseignement sera terminé. Ok.
Monica, even the best chef in the world can't flavor their food without prepping the flavoring, right?
Oui, oui, je sais, c'est beau, j'ai compris, j'ai compris. Ok, on est bon. Là, on est là.
That should be enough flavoring.
Attends,
Now hurry up and balance the
Ok.
flavor.
4. J'en ai pas de 4, mais j'ai 6. Donc on met ça et 6. On est bon. Je pense qu'il faut se dépêcher, on a quand même un compte à rebours. Ça m'a pris 30 secondes de faire tout ça. Première couche, faite. On est capable. Wouh! Prochaine étape, ça va être quoi? Préparer la prochaine couche du gâteau. Qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire? Faut encore assaisonner? Ou il faut, faut tout refaire ou... Ok, on va dire qu'on va tout refaire. On va refaire ça, hop. Ok. Alors, 4. J'en ai pas de 4. Oui, j'en ai un 4. Ah, fuck. 4. C'est quoi ça? 5. Ok, parfait. On est bon. Eh, j'ai cru que j'avais raté pendant 2 secondes, là. Oh, elle est grosse, la deuxième couche. À mon avis, il y en a juste 3.
What do you think?
Intéressant, hein? À dégoûter, ça arrive bientôt. En fait, je sais même pas combien de couches il y a. Troisième couche. Préparer la dernière couche. Ok, c'est ça, il y a 3 couches. Ok, c'est parti. Maintenant, je connais les étapes par cœur. Hop, hop. On continue à couper, on coupe ci, on fait ça. Voilà, ok. Prochain. 1, 2 et 3. On est bon. Alors, 8. Ça fait 6, 7, 8. Parfait, on est bon.
The balance of flavors is about right. But the quantity
Ok.
is too low.
Ça fait 5, donc hop. Hop. Et voilà.
Stay calm, Escoffier. There has to be a way to balance the flavors.
C'est beau, c'est beau.
Just think.
C'est balancé, là. Et dernière couche, terminée. J'ai bien aimé faire ça.
You can't match
C'est pas pire.
Escoffier's talent.
Oh, il s'est même levé. Hein, tu vois comment il est impressionné? Oh oh, un peu en difficulté, ça, maintenant?
I present to you Gâteau de Bord.
Et voilà. Utilisez votre enchaînement alimentaire pour terminer votre région.
The pinnacle of excellence.
Wow. J'ai quasiment envie vraiment de le manger pour de vrai, hein. Ah, il doit être tellement bon en plus. Wouh. Mais comme j'ai dit, manger tout ça, il prend 200 livres d'un coup. Seulement 12, 2 minutes 43, parfait ça. On prend une petite capture d'écran et on est bon. Et voilà. Parfait.
Time's up! Contestants, please take your dishes to the back.
Huh. was right. You really can't tell whose is whose just by looking at them.
Non,
We both
vraiment
made
pas
the same
plus.
dish after all. For all her flaws, Savannah's a talented chef who earned my recommendation for good reason. She wouldn't screw up something as elementary as the cake's appearance.
Whoa! This is really rather good.
Wonderfully
okay.
soft and fluffy. Beautifully sweet. This is a masterclass in how to make gâteau de bois.
I would give this one at least 9.9 out of 10.
9,9.
Only
Wow.
because there's something about the flavor of the base. It's just a little different from the recipe I'm used to.
Huh? Really? I couldn't tell.
Oh, on dirait que c'est le sien.
All right, on to gâteau number 2.
On to
I
gâteau
haven't
number
had
2.
a single bite and already this aroma is a delight to the senses.
I have a feeling that this gâteau will be a gâteau for the ages.
On dirait que c'est celui à Escoffier, celui-là.
How exciting! I'm gonna dig in.
Oh.
I think maybe
peut-être
someone
pas.
got a little carried away when they were adding the sugar.
Not just the sugar, it's the flavors too. This is all over the place. Who made this?
It appears the decision is unanimous. This
Oh,
gâteau
oh,
is
alors c'est
far
bien
below the
celui-
standard we would expect.
À mon avis, celui d'Escoffier est bon, donc celui de Savannah, c'est sûrement celui-là, non?
And Paimon thought this might actually be close. Turns out she can't bake to save her life.
Peut-être que le travail d'équipe a joué.
Something's not right here. Savannah may not be perfect, but no way is she this sloppy.
I can now declare that the creator of the first gâteau has won this cooking contest. Now,
Et on parie que les
all
gâteaux ont
that
été changés.
remains
Je parie
is
que c'est
to
ça.
turn the plate over and reveal the chef's name underneath.
C'est sûr.
It's Savannah?
No! That's impossible!
C'était sûr. Sûr et certain.
Hey, Savannah, you cheated, didn't you? You cheater! What did you do? Oh, you swapped the plates, didn't you?
Well, someone's a sore loser. These cakes went from the oven to the judge's table without me ever laying a finger on them. And everyone here can attest to that.
Ouais,
It
non.
was Vanishem's staff who labeled them in the kitchen. If you're looking to accuse someone, why don't you start with them? Isn't it more likely that Escoffier's lost her edge? Oh, or maybe her assistants let the team down.
You take that back!
Judges, we demand a rematch.
Monica nous a trahis?
That's enough.
Non, peut-être pas. Je pense pas.
What's done is done. As head chef, or rather as team lead, I take responsibility for the dish I served. Whatever went wrong and however it happened, I should have spotted it. Savannah, I didn't think you'd stoop this low just to beat me in a bake-off. What happened to your chef's pride?
I don't know what you're talking about.
If you want the Codex de Boer that much, you can have it.
Escoffier, no!
But you must promise me that you'll apologize to Firma and compensate him for everything you put him through.
It's a little late to be negotiating terms. The contest is over, and
Je savais que ça
I
pouvait pas finir
won.
si facilement que ça.
That means you owe me the Codex, and I owe you nothing.
Donc, ce qui va se passer après, il y en a aucune
You
idée.
may have fooled everyone else, but can you really fool yourself? What I'm offering is to accept defeat without looking to expose what you've done.
Ah, peut-être qu'elle nous a trahis finalement.
But only on the condition that you promise to stop putting so much pressure on your staff.
Fine. I'll treat this as your final handover of duties from one head chef to the next. So, will that be all, ex-head chef? Or is there any other unfinished business you'd like to leave in my hands?
I didn't mean that to be a scolding from your former boss, just a word of advice from a fellow chef and a friend. But I don't know if you're even open to input from other people anymore.
I know what I'm doing. I don't
Non, je
need
suis
your
pas sûr de
advice.
ça.
Alright, fine. I'm glad to hear it.
Escoffier?
The Codex de Boer! Finally. Now, at long last, I will succeed.
Escoffier? How could you let her get away with this?
Yeah!
Qu'est-ce que tu veux
The
qu'elle fasse?
Codex is a souvenir of your time here. Doesn't that mean anything to you?
It's alright. It was just a bake-off, not the end of the world. I'm already over it. Besides, it's not all bad. She agreed to compensate Firma.
Ouais, je suis pas sûr qu'elle va le faire pour de
That's
vrai.
mission accomplished for the Spina. Honestly, if I'd have known that giving her the Codex would solve everything, I'd have just done that in the first place. I mean, why bother with the whole cooking contest? It's such a waste of time and
Elle a l'air
energy.
quand même énervée un peu. En vérité, elle doit le bouleverser, mais... Je suis sûr qu'elle va rien trouver, Savannah.
No! This doesn't make any sense!
C'est ce que je me disais.
Huh?
That's it? No secrets.
Mais non, y a pas de
nothing?
secret.
I don't believe it! This can't be happening.
Chef Savannah!
Savannah?
Savannah s'évanouit après avoir lu le codex le code
It's
des bords,
nothing
le codex des bords
life-threatening.
original.
Just a lot of pent-up stress and exhaustion.
Oh, I knew it.
Et donc?
Pent up stress?
The truth is, however hard she might be on the rest of us, the person she puts the most pressure on is herself.
Yes, there are nights when she makes us redo things over and over into the wee hours. But for her, it's every night. She'll hide herself away in the kitchen, working on new techniques and recipes, and only realize how long she's been at it when we come to work the following morning.
Ah oui, c'est intense quand même.
Why? Why would she do that?
Our best guess is she doesn't want to be seen as less of a chef than Escoffier.
Ouais, mais elle l'est.
And there it is.
Even so, that's no excuse for taking her anger out on the rest of you.
Yeah, and it's definitely no excuse for cheating in the cooking contest.
About that, we honestly have no idea how she did it. We were focused on our own work the whole time, like she asked.
Leone and Algalia were the ones I tasked with labeling the cakes. I've already spoken to them both. They're at a loss to explain it too.
Not to worry. Come on,
Bizarre.
join me downstairs. I'll interrogate the guilty gâteau myself.
Hein? Qu'est-ce qu'elle a dit? Elle va interroger le gâteau. Elle a interrogé le gâteau. Quoi? J'ai bien envie de voir ça.
How is it? Have you figured out what it was?
Attends, elle parle au gâteau, là.
Oh, this is aggravated assault on my palate. I'd rather eat wet cement than this.
Is it really that bad? I made sure to taste test it before it was served.
Oh, relax. This isn't your cake. Savannah never switched the plates. The offending flavors are coming from in between the icing and the cake base, which means someone tampered with it while it was being made. Or in other words, we have a traitor in our midst.
Ah! Je me disais aussi.
I'm sorry. I was forced into it.
Oui, oui, c'est ça, ils disent tous ça.
It was Chef Savannah. She said if I didn't cooperate, she would...
Calm down, Monica. I've already accepted defeat. And if I wanted retribution, I would have brought this up when the results were announced. Whatever's going on with you, just spill the beans. There's no need to hide it.
Alors?
I was the one who caused the food safety incident that one time.
Food safety? Wait, you mean the Lumaline incident? So you procured the contaminated ingredients?
I think so. Savannah and I were on procurement that day. I didn't check everything as well as I should have, and so I let contaminated ingredients make it into the kitchen. But I swear I didn't do it on purpose. I had no idea there was an issue with them, and I didn't know it would end up with Escoffier going to jail. But the last thing I expected was for Savannah to use it as leverage to blackmail me with...
Oh, à ce point-là. D'accord.
This is crazy! So Savannah pressured you into sabotaging Escoffier's cake by threatening to expose your secret if you didn't?
I know, it's terrible. I'm so sorry.
Elle a menacé.
I
Quand
was
même.
so scared. The thought of Chef Escoffier finding out that I put her in jail, it made me freeze up with fear. I thought Escoffier would hate my guts if she ever found out, and yet somehow that's ended up in me doing something even worse.
Donc c'est bien notre gâteau, celui-là.
Seriously? All this fuss over a little slip-up?
Huh?
Firstly, it's not like I got a life sentence. I did my stint at the fortress, and now I'm out. And secondly, I had my own reasons for leaving the Hotel de Boer.
Et on va
This
dire
wasn't
aussi,
the only factor.
la forteresse de Méropide n'est
So
pas si pire que
you
ça, en
don't
vrai.
need to feel ashamed or
T'es à peu
frightened
près
or
libre.
anything like that. Any more than you need to add butter when you're pan-searing foie gras.
You mean... you forgive me?
Tu pensais quoi, qu'elle allait être assassinée
well,
sur place?
I'm not saying you don't have to take responsibility for your mistakes. You should tell Vanagem to mark down your performance for the past few months. Then do some digging and find out exactly where those contaminated ingredients came from. Sure, you've made mistakes, but now's the time to fix them. Understood?
Understood.
Good. Now, back to Savannah. What about the original codex would compel her to resort to blackmail?
I have my suspicions. Not that I've got any proof to back them up, though. Ugh. What happened to me?
Tu t'es évanoui.
I've overheard some customers murmuring about how the Hotel de Boer hasn't been the same since Escoffier left. They think our menu doesn't taste like it used to, especially our signature items.
Comme le gâteau des bords.
Now that you mention it, I noticed it during the contest too. I couldn't put my finger on it, but the flavor seems subtly different from how it used to be. But the difference was so small, I'm sure no one would notice it besides our most loyal customers and true dessert connoisseurs.
Still, as head chef, it's easy to see why Savannah would get so hung up on it.
Ah, vous voulez la
So
recette
many
complète.
times I've seen her make the cake base over and over again, late into the night, determined to match Escoffier's version. But something's always slightly off every time.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
Peut-être c'est à
Never
cause
really
qu'il
gave it much
utilise
thought, though.
sa capacité élémentaire, Escoffier.
Thinking back on it now, it's clear that Savannah's been in a downward spiral ever since Escoffier left.
She wants to prove that she can fill Escoffier's shoes. That's gotta be the reason. But after countless setbacks, she's getting more and more unhinged. And at some point along the way, she switched from doubting herself to doubting Escoffier.
Doubting Escoffier? For what?
Peut-être qu'elle avait pas donné la vraie recette. Elle pensait que le code des bords qu'Escoffier lui a donné était un faux.
Yeah, it would explain why she was bent on getting the original at any cost. She must have thought Escoffier purposely omitted key details from her recipes when she copied them out. Also, she could retain her place as the #1 chef in Fontaine, the only one privy to all the secrets of the trade.
Oh, for goodness sake. What a stupid idea.
Of course. Then she finally got the codex only to discover that the secret recipes she's been pining for don't exist at all. Seeing how utterly wrong she was must have been a real shock to the system. It probably brought up everything at once. It overwhelmed her, and she passed out.
Mais qu'est-ce qui pourrait faire changer la recette à ce
One thing
point-là?
that doesn't make sense, though. If Savannah had the real recipe all along, how come it tasted different? She might not be on the same level as Escoffier, but surely after like 50 attempts, she'd get it right one of those times.
You'd think so, but geniuses like Escoffier are in a league of their own.
Non, non, il doit y avoir quelque chose d'autre. Elle a caché la véritable recette.
New head chef, you say? What's her name? I don't think I've heard of her before.
I wonder, can the Hotel de Boer keep its edge without Escoffier at the helm?
This tastes different from last time. Is it undercooked or something?
Récupère le code des bords à tout prix.
Take this. It's a copy of the Codex de Boer. From now on, you will be its keeper. Don't listen to the doubters. If I say you can do it, then you can do it. Even if you don't believe in yourself, at least believe in me. Hey, did you hear me? Once I'm gone, the restaurant is all yours.
C'est à cause de toi qu'il y a eu l'affaire de la lumilinée, non?
All this time, I've been blaming other people, but maybe I'm the problem.
Tu es le problème. T'inquiète même pas.
I sincerely apologize for putting everyone out. Savannah's awake now, but I don't think she's ready to speak to anyone yet. Let's give her the day to calm down. I'm sure you'll have the chance to talk everything out tomorrow.
Encore une journée qu'on doit attendre.
In that
Une nuit en
case,
tout cas.
I'll go and update for Ma and his family. I wonder what he'll make of all this.
So, we'll come back tomorrow then.
Oui, allons-y.
That was a long day. I think I've earned myself a sweet treat when I get back home.
Oh, nice! Macarons? Or are you gonna switch it up this time?
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a, Escoffier? Qu'y a-t-il,
Traveler,
Escoffier?
how much do you know about the snow-winged goose?
Un peu.
Every year, they migrate long distances in search of a suitable home. There's always one goose at the front whose job is to lead the flock.
Ok, pourquoi tu me
Fontaine
dis ça?
poets often use the image of that goose to explore the ideas about leadership and genius. They usually imagine someone who's a cut above the rest, a model of perfection. But what those poets don't know is that during a migration, the lead goose is always changing. Once the lead goose shows signs of fatigue, it retreats to the back of the flock and allows another goose to take its place. So the truth is that leadership, with all the responsibilities and pressures that come with it, it's something that everyone takes turns at. But we humans completely miss that fact when we project our own ideas about social hierarchies onto them.
Est-ce que vous parlez de Savannah et vous?
I guess what I'm saying is, I don't buy into this notion that there's some sort of gulf between normal and genius. Cooking is a science, not magic. Given the same ingredients, same recipe, and same environment, I see no reason why two different people shouldn't be able to create the exact
Ouais, mais il
same
faut aussi la
dish.
même cuisson, les mêmes manières de
Some people
faire,
have a
tout
more
dans le genre.
sensitive palate than others, and some people are just born bolder or more conscientious. But these are all variables that can be accounted for with time and practice. I'd have no reason to expect so much from others if I believed that perfection can only come from the hands of a genius. The only reason I hold people to high standards is because, well, I believe they're capable of greatness.
Je ne sais pas si vous avez raison, mais c'est merveilleux de le croire.
Okay, I've made up my mind. I'm gonna get to the bottom of why Savannah failed. And come tomorrow, I'll give her the scolding of her life, pointing out all the mistakes she's made along the way. Then she'll finally see the error of her ways.
Ok, ouais, c'est ça. On doit attendre le lendemain, 5h, 7h. Du matin, hein? Du matin, non? Sûrement, sûrement. Alors, 5h, 7h. Attendre jusqu'à 5h. C'est pas long à attendre, mais quand même. Ah, c'est ce que je me disais aussi. Donc ça doit être... Ah, le lendemain. D'accord. Donc on passe une journée. Voilà. J'ai jamais aimé attendre ça. Au moins c'est pas trop long, mais quand même.
Many
Alors
insects
maintenant,
have a compulsion
on doit à
to
l'hôtel des
follow
bugs
the
chercher
light,
l'escoffier.
and
Combien j'y
humans are the
suis?
same. Except we call that light.
Et maintenant, qu'est-ce qui va se passer? On va parler à Savannah?
Why are we here so early? Our meeting with Vanna Gem isn't for a while.
Je voulais voir comment l'escoffier se portait.
Check on her? Why? What happened?
Oh!
Oh no. Escoffier, are you alright?
Elle a pas l'air d'aller très bien, non? Qu'est-ce qu'elle a? Oh, elle a l'air d'avoir fait une coupe de gâteau, là.
I'm fine. Just need to get some more coffee in me.
Vous avez vraiment fait une nuit blanche.
Huh? What happened to my coffee? Did I really drink it all?
Je vais vous en apporter un autre.
Alright. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Well, there's cooking facilities here.
De
Or
rien.
we could just grab a cup of coffee from Café Lutèce, but either way, hurry!
Je dirais qu'on fait le café. On va cuisiner... On peut cuisiner un café. Ok. Est-ce que je peux faire du café, moi? Non. Non. D'accord. Je peux pas faire de café, donc... Peut-être j'en ai un sur moi.
Coffee.
La lettre à fausse alors. Tiens. C'est pas du café, mais c'est un bon gâteau.
Strong, bitter coffee beans, transformed through expert brewing and balanced perfectly with rich, creamy steam milk.
T'inquiète, ça me fait plaisir.
Wonderful.
C'est pas un café, mais quand même.
I feel much better now. Thank you so much, Traveler in Paimon.
Ça me fait plaisir.
Glad to hear it. But make sure to catch up in your sleep when you get the chance.
Comment se déroule l'enquête?
I think I figured out where the problem lies.
Ah oui?
Honestly, it's ridiculous. I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
Donc ça doit être quoi le problème?
What investigation? What are you guys talking about?
I'll save it for when everyone else gets here. It's so stupidly small. I can't believe it's caused so much drama.
Et pourtant, regarde-moi tous ces plans. On dirait que vous avez eu pas mal d'expériences ratées l'année dernière.
Yes, except my failures were stepping stones to success.
Escoffier! Have you seen Savannah?
Huh?
Oh non, qu'est-ce qui s'est
No,
passé?
not since yesterday. Why? What's wrong?
Elle a disparu, c'est ça?
After seeing her home yesterday, we were all a little concerned about how she was doing. So, I dropped by her place early this morning to check on her. Only to find an empty house with the doors wide open.
Oh non,
I
qu'est-ce qui
left
s'est
Alphonse
passé?
and the others to keep watch at her home, while I checked the Hôtel de Bord. I'm worried something bad might have happened. If she's not here, then where could she be?
Boss, Escoffier, bad news.
Allez, quoi encore?
Alphonse? You're supposed to be keeping watch at Savannah's house.
We were, but then, just after you left, we found this stuff in her house.
Une lettre?
Oh, looks like
Une
a
carte.
map with a bunch of random places circled. What does it mean?
Wait a second. This feels familiar. I'm sure these places are all connected somehow.
Ok, comment?
Of course, from the Codex. They're all places that Modeste explored on his adventures.
Modeste?
Yeah, but I don't understand. The adventure logs in the Codex are too fragmented to be of any use. How come this map shows all the missing details?
The Codex de Bord? Then, this place marked in red out at sea. Could that be the fabled birthplace of Gâteau de Bord?
Seriously? So now she set her sights on finding the original recipe and beating Escoffier that way? Geez, Savannah. Anything to overcome a gâteau plateau, huh?
Oh, idiot! Does she have a death wish? Those ruins are thousands of years
allez se
old.
battre.
Hold on. There's more. Besides the map, we also found these letters.
La lettre reçue il y a plusieurs mois. C'est à cause de toi qu'il y a eu l'affaire de la lumilinée, non? Je sais que tu es responsable pour l'achat de l'ingrédient problématique ce jour-là. Je me demande ce que penserait ta bonne amie si elle apprenait qu'elle a souffert à cause de ta négligence. Que penseraient les gens de l'hôtel? J'imagine que tu préfères qu'Escoffier ne soit pas mise au courant, pas vrai, chef Savannah? Lettre reçue il y a plusieurs semaines. Récupère le code des bords à tout prix, c'est là que se trouve le véritable trésor et tu l'as abandonné comme une idiote, très bien. Tu vas le récupérer que ce soit grâce à un pari ou par la force, je m'en fiche. Oh je sais, n'y a-t-il pas ce concours de cuisine? Si tu n'es pas sûr d'être capable de gagner, il suffit de faire perdre ton adversaire. J'imagine que ton assistante pourrait être utile à cet égard. Lettre reçue il y a peu. Qu'est-ce qui te retient? C'est elle qui a caché la véritable recette. Sinon, pourquoi penses-tu que tu n'es jamais arrivé à recréer son travail? Elle a peur que tu lui fasses de l'ombre. Pense que tous les gens de... Oh, attends. Que penses-tu que les gens disent dans ton dos, que ce soit à l'intérieur ou à l'extérieur de l'hôtel? Ils te le traitent ordinaire. D'ordinaire. Une personne sans talent, une minable, une ratée qui ne surpassera jamais Escoffier. Et à qui la faute, c'est exactement? C'est exact. C'est elle la responsable. Ce n'est pas une sainte, alors pourquoi hésiter? Ok. Je me demande de qui vient la lettre.
You let the Lumaline through, didn't you? It sounds like a threat letter.
C'est une lettre de
Does
menace.
this mean that Savannah was responsible for the safety incident? And not Monica after all?
Retrieve the codex by any means necessary. So the cooking contest and the cheating. Someone else was behind her pulling the strings?
She's keeping the true recipe to herself.
Ugh, this is all such a mess. Paimon needs a second to process this. First, we thought that Savannah forced Monica to cheat in the cooking contest. But now, it turns out that someone else forced Savannah to force Monica to cheat?
Savannah a-t-elle fait chanter Monica? Ou bien c'est l'inverse? L'inverse? Monica a fait chanter Savannah. Oh oh!
You're finally here.
Un peu
Of
bizarre.
course. I should have put two and two together as soon as I read your threat letter. The food safety incident. The demand for a cooking contest. The instruction to blackmail Monica. Even the suggestion that Escoffier was keeping secrets from me.
Oh mon
It was
Dieu!
all part of your grand plan.
Monica!
Wasn't it? Monica?
Quel retournement de situation! Je sentais qu'il y avait quelque chose de bizarre avec Monica. Mais quand même, je m'y attendais pas à ce que ça soit elle la coupable depuis le début. Je suis au milieu de la mer là.
We should be getting close to the spot marked on the map.
Ah, c'est vrai, on peut aller dans l'eau aussi.
Of all the stupid things she's done, this really takes the cake. The moment we find her, I'm gonna curse the living daylights out of her.
J'aime bien comment elle parle, Escoffier. J'aimerais vraiment beaucoup la voir. Surtout que c'est la meilleure pour Skirk, qui arrive dans la prochaine mise à jour. Rentrons là-dedans. Mais les ruines, il n'y a pas de ruines là-dedans, c'est fermé. Ah non, il y a une... je pense qu'il y a une ouverture. Bon, peu importe, on va y aller direct. Je sais que j'ai pas le niveau, mais ça devrait être faisable quand même. Oh yeah! Oui. Et donc, vous montrez les poissons. Ah, il nous montre la place, ok. Oui, ça ressemble à des ruines ordinaires de fontaine. Je suis allé dans plusieurs de ceux-là.
Whoa, this place looks like an underwater restaurant, doesn't it? Suddenly, the idea of an adventure chef finding secret ingredients makes a whole lot more sense.
I think Modest's codex mentioned this place. a public bath from the time of Remoria. So yeah, definitely the kind of place that would have served food and drinks.
Huh? Some blubber beasts have come to join the party? How did they get here?
Oh.
Aw, they ran off!
Ils n'ont peut-être pas l'habitude de voir des humains.
That could be easier said than done. Something's blocking the entrance.
Well, did Modeste mention it in his adventure logs by any chance? They must have gotten through somehow.
Good point. Yes, that's right. It's coming back to me now.
Alors, c'était comment?
We prepared a banquet for our shy little guests, and as the food flowed away on the current, they broke into a joyous chorus, and the path opened to us.
D'accord, alors on doit leur préparer de la
We have to
nourriture.
feed the blubber beasts? With what? There's nothing here besides rocks, romaritime flowers, and lumitoile.
Ben ça va être ça, ça va être avec ça qu'on va devoir le faire du coup.
Snacks. You never know when you're gonna need them. Now we have to head all the way back to shore and grab some.
There's no time for
Peut-être
that.
pas, hein.
Romaritime flowers and lumitoile will have to do. They may not look appetizing to us, but who knows? They could be blubber beast delicacies.
Peut-être.
Wait, we're seriously gonna try this?
Ben s'il faut, il faut, hein. Vous collectez les fleurs maritimes et les sombres toiles à proximité. Ok. 2 et 3. Ok, on est bon. Et où est ma machine là? C'est pas celle-là, je le sais. Sinon elle serait... C'est peut-être celle-là. C'est celle-là, d'accord. Et maintenant, on assaisonne. Ok, donc il en faut 4. Ici j'en ai un de 4. Non. Ça c'est un de 5, donc j'en ai un de... Non. Ça c'est combien? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 direct, hein. Je pourrais peut-être me mettre celui de 5. Là j'en ai un de trop. Je fais ça et ça. Voilà, on est bon. Assaisonnement terminé.
Blubber beasts or not, are we sure this stuff is edible?
Trust me, they'll love it.
On sait jamais, c'est peut-être comestible. Mais comment va-t-on les nourrir?
Oh, good question. If we try to put them in the pool, we'll probably just scare them off again, and who knows how long they'll be gone.
Avec le chemin, non?
Yes, we can't afford to wait for them to double back. Oh, what was it that Modeste said again? Something about the food flowing away on the current.
Oui. Et on l'a vu, nous, donc c'est plutôt simple, là, mais... Donc on le dépose là en premier, ou... On doit peut-être rejoindre les deux parties. Pivoter. Oh! On va commencer par celui-là. Ah, ok, ça fait 1. D'accord. Le boudin engloutit joyeusement la nourriture, on dirait que... Il n'a jamais assez de temps pour lire ça. Hein.
Singing! It must taste better than Paimon thought!
Ah, faut que j'en fasse un autre. Ok.
Up to the freezer. The tracks turned back again. So
Ok.
annoying.
Alors, 6. Ça fait 5, 6. Ça, c'est fait. Et on va livrer cette nourriture. On repivote. Et je dois la déposer là. Ah, c'est ça le problème. Ah non, c'est bon, ok. Ok, go, go, on refait. 1, 2. Ok, et on envoie, go, go, go. J'aime bien ça. Attends, je peux... Ah, je l'ai essayé avec un autre personnage. J'ai entendu dire qu'il pouvait faire des plats escoffiers. Quand on attaquait son truc, genre hop. Ah, dommage. Ah, il y a un coffre. Merci. Ok, on va refaire. On va prendre Firina et... Comment je suis supposé faire? Il faut que je prenne un personnage en particulier ou... Ça n'a pas l'air. Bon. Ou peut-être que je peux pas le faire justement parce que... Elle est pas dans mon équipe en ce moment. Non, je veux voir quelle bulle ils ont mis. 76, 158, d'accord. Constellation, ils en ont... C'est sûr, ils mettent tout le temps 3 constellations. On pourrait peut-être aller plus vite comme ça. Ah, j'avais peut-être pas besoin d'aller si vite que ça. Peu de temps avant.
Hey, give me your water.
Here.
I said your water, the one you just drank out of?
Sure.
All those years slaving away under Escoffier, and then you. Today, it's finally paying off.
Nah, je suis pas sûr de
Not
ça.
only have I found the ruin that Savelli kept hidden, but I also get to boss you around like my little lapdog. Hey, go scout ahead for me. If we need to do any more blast tunneling, I want to know where to lay the explosives.
Les explosifs.
Did you not hear me? Get going.
Why don't you do it yourself?
Oh, when did you learn to fight back? You're always so compliant when I give you instructions by letter.
That's because you threatened to expose me for the Lumiline incident. I swear, if I'd known what you were planning, I'd never have...
Ha! Don't be so self-righteous. Admit it, you've always been jealous of Escoffier. That's why you lapped up everything I told you. You were terrified of her finding out about your part in the Lumiline incident, and you resented the way her reputation hung over you. So you jumped at the chance to convince yourself that she was the villain, that she deliberately hid her secret recipes from you just to hold you back. It was the only excuse you needed to justify getting back at her.
Désolé, de toute façon, il y avait juste un petit
First,
dialogue.
idolization, then jealousy, suspicion, and self-deception. That's what this comes down to. It was the same story with Savelli and my ancestor. He offered Modeste his friendship only to murder him out of vanity. He promised to explore the world with him, only to later destroy all records of their adventures. It's a miracle I even found this place. You have no idea the countless hours I spent piecing it all together. So you see, you're no better than Savelli. If you can't beat him, betray him, right?
I am no Savelli, nor will I ever be.
Oh, put a lid on it. You really think you can absolve yourself of your vindictive and jealous behavior now? Just because you finally realized that Escoffier never kept any secrets from you? You didn't show any remorse when she left, or in the cooking contest. Why start now? You have no right to redemption.
You're right. I don't deserve her forgiveness. But I am done being bullied into submission by you!
Ooh, feisty. But you should watch your tone. Talking to me like that could get you in big trouble.
I somehow doubt that. Since I poisoned both our water bottles.
What?
Ever since I learned the truth, I've been biding my time, waiting for this moment.
Ah, je m'attendais pas à ça, moi.
Like a fiddle for so long, and now this is payback.
But you drink it too.
Eh ouais.
It's what we both deserve. This is the price we must pay for betraying Escoffier. You'll die here with me, Monica.
You.
Wow, c'est exagéré là. C'est quoi ce rire démoniaque?
What's so funny?
Oh, you're too much. I thought I'd play along for a bit just to amuse myself.
Et si c'est pas une
You gave a
prestation?
very rousing performance. I saw your dumb plan a mile off. There's no poison in these bottles, just clean, fresh water.
No.
Revenge is a dish best served cold, you know? Did you really think your half-baked plot would fool me? You're a lousy chef, and you make a lousy villain, too. A complete waste of space. No wonder you never amounted to anything.
Everything I ever did was a failure. And now, I failed again.
D'accord, il est même pas capable d'empoisonner une bouteille.
Hey, why don't you try your hand at being a comedian in your next life? You got a good laugh out of me. But now the show's over. You should have just done like I asked, Savannah. All I wanted you to do was scout the ruins for me. But you had your chance, and now it's time to say goodbye.
Stop
Ils
right
sont devenus intenses les histoires maintenant.
We got you surrounded.
Escoffier?
Ugh, looks like I'll have to keep you around for a little longer.
You can't!
Stay back if you want her alive!
Oh,
Escoffier
wow.
and the Traveler.
Et on dirait quasiment que c'est devenu
I
un
can't
film
take you
maintenant.
both on in combat, but if you so much as flinch, I can end Savannah's life in a heartbeat.
Monica, what are you hoping to achieve by this? You're about to commit murder, and for what? A recipe?
A recipe? You chefs are all blinded by your myopic focus on kitchen affairs. Well, some of us actually have bigger fish to fry.
Ah ouais, comme quoi?
Modeste had a secret. The truth behind his so-called genius, the je ne sais quoi factor in his Gâteau de Bourg, and it's right here in these ruins.
Are you serious? You're here because of a Gâteau de Bourg obsession? You've gone completely mad!
I couldn't care less about the cake itself. No, the real treasure is the secret ingredient that Modeste sourced from these ruins. He and Savelli were fools. A priceless treasure of Remoria in the palms of their hands, and they thought, ooh, this would go great in our cake mix. We're talking about a powerful stimulant that also sharpens the senses. That's no cooking ingredient. It's a groundbreaking drug. That's right, I've done my research. It was a drug that Remoria developed
Encore
for
un
their
truc de
war
drogue.
machine. I could make a killing by selling it to the treasure hoarders or the Fatui.
Will you listen to yourself? You're completely delusional.
My eyes are wide open. Just wait till I get my hands on this treasure. You'll see what a fool you've been.
Oh.
Wait, what's that sound?
Just when I thought she couldn't get any crazier. She's lucky the whole place didn't collapse.
Je crois qu'elle a réussi à s'échapper en profitant du chaos. Trouvons un autre chemin et rattrapons-la.
Oh, Savannah's gone too.
Tu pensais quoi?
Monica
Qu'elle
must
pas
have
l'amener?
taken her. Oh, what a coward. She's only taken her hostage because she knows that she's no match for you.
C'est une bonne nouvelle, malgré tout, au moins Savannah est en sécurité pour l'instant.
That's true. Even if she finds the treasure, she'll need Savannah alive if she wants to get out of here in one piece.
Ouais.
Oh, well, our path's been blocked, so let's look for another route.
Allons-y. Ok, alors où on pourrait aller?
Up to the freezer! The water looks pretty deep here. Maybe it leads somewhere.
Ah, intéressant. Je pensais pas vraiment que ça allait nous amener quelque part. Merci pour ça. Je l'ai attaqué, mais en fait, je voulais pas vraiment l'attaquer. On monte maintenant? Ouais. Alors, oh! Stylé ça. Oh non! Golem!
They were probably awakened by the explosion just now. Alright, knife skills 101. Time
Oh,
for
okay,
some
c'est
rough
parti.
chopping.
Avec tous ces effets, ça va faire mal. Aïe 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 aïe. Ok, c'est pas pire. Oh, une pierre tombale. En tout cas, ça ressemble. Sur l'ordre de la coordination de l'égalité, sur la médaille le plus secret, le plus... Ok, c'est bon, j'ai pas envie de lire ça. C'est pas très intéressant. Alors, où es-tu caché, Monica? Ah, encore ça.
Another door? Guess we need to prepare another feast for our guests.
Ouais. Cette fois-ci, ça risque de pas être très long par contre. Maintenant que je sais quoi faire, vous placez les ingrédients collectés sur la table. C'est parti. Ça c'est fait. Et le dernier. Ok. Alors je dirais 5. Ça fait 7 moins 4. Ça fait 6, 5, 4, 3. Ouais, non, ça marche pas. On va mettre 6. Pourquoi j'ai fait ça? Ah, peu importe. On va mettre 5. Ça marche pas mon truc. Attends, laisse-moi refaire ça. Attends, voilà. Ok, ok. On va refaire ça de deux. Bon, il m'en faut 2. Bien sûr, j'ai pas de 2. Donc... faudrait que je me rende à 6. Donc, hop. Non. On va mettre... Ça fait 1, 3. Hop. 5. Et 6. Bon. Il était temps. Ça va être plutôt simple, livrer les plats. Alors, on va commencer par là.
Hey, be careful! Scare them off too much
Ah
and
oui,
they
c'est
might
vrai.
not come back again.
Bonnet se réveille après chaque outil dans le plat.
It seems to really like the texture of Rome maritime flowers.
On dirait bien, ouais. Maintenant, le prochain. Ah oui, c'est vrai, faut refaire le plat. Ok. Bon, 3. 5. Voilà. Celui-là, il était simple. Et maintenant, on doit juste aller le livrer. Voilà. Et ça. Allez, livre. Livre! Ah, faut... Ok. Attends. Là, on est bon. Ah, maudit. On refait. Go. On est bon. Maintenant, on attend.
No recipe, no problem.
Ah! Oui, allez, allez. Ouvre-moi ça, ouvre-moi ça. Yes! Encore? Attends, on va aller.
Shower me with praise.
Pourquoi ça veut pas l'ouvrir?
Rise with the sun.
Peut-être que ça me l'ouvre pas parce que...
Off to the freezer.
Ouais, peut-être que ça me l'ouvre juste pas parce que j'ai pas le personnage. Une attaque féronisée encore plus grande que celle de Paimon.
I never knew you could process Lumitwol like that. Alright, I've got to jot this down. Lumitwols and maritime flowers. This could open the door to a whole new world.
Yep, that's literally the plan. Wait, hold on. Which door
Wow,
are you
wow, wow,
talking
wow,
about?
wow, wow. Il fait manquer le coffre. Là, on est bon. Alors, où ils sont, eux? On arrive, vous pourrez plus vous cacher bien longtemps.
That's strange. These don't look Romorian to me. More like last century Fontaine.
Ça n'a pas l'air d'être très ancien non plus.
Adventurers from last century Fontaine, huh? Oh, Modeste and Savelli, do you think they camped here?
By the looks of it, this was a one-person camp. They adventured together, but maybe one of them came back alone at a later date.
Fouillons un peu plus dans les environs.
Oh, you really think so?
Trust our adventurers' instincts. We're pros at this stuff, just like you're a pro in the kitchen.
Enfin, c'est le mien au moins.
Okay, well, the Traveler has more adventuring experience overall, but Paimon's definitely a pro rummager from all those treasure chests.
Voilà, j'ai trouvé.
Paimon was just about to show off her rummaging skills.
Huh, no kidding. Are all adventurers so obsessed with journaling? I mean, I guess I take a lot of notes when I'm cooking as well, but I thought that was just me.
Anyway, let's find out who was here.
It's been years since I've last visited these ruins. It's exactly the way I remember it. This place probably hasn't changed in millennia. Sadly, up above, on dry land, everything has changed. The treasure of Remoria. That's what we used to call it. Modeste was right about its potential. It turned Gâteau de Bourg into a national sensation. Our limited stock of the substance meant that the gâteau could only be produced on a small scale. But this only drove up the popularity all the more. Modeste was right about that too. He predicted all of it. He was praised as a genius, while I, as the one person who'd ever disagreed with him, was
Je m'en pose
labeled
2
a
secondes,
talentless
on
fool.
m'appelle. Bon, je dois aller faire un petit truc, ensuite je reviens. Pour l'instant, vous allez rester sur cette petite image de Sabelli qui a l'air triste. Je suis de retour. Désolé pour le beaucoup de temps que ça a pris. Mais ça devrait plus réarriver. En tout cas dans ce live-là. Bon, on était rendu où? Alors oui, c'est vrai. On continue.
Modeste tried his best to console me, but I knew better than anyone just how great the gulf was between us. Our conversations grew scarce, and we saw less and less of each other. I didn't fight it. He had new friends and a career of his own. Why invite further disdain by inserting myself where I did not belong? I told myself that maybe one day, when I finally created a masterpiece of my own, I'd be able to face him without shame. Or maybe one day, when I've put these feelings of self-loathing behind me, I'd be able to ask him with a smile on my face, how about we go on one more adventure, for old time's sake? Unfortunately, that day will never come.
So it was Savelli. From the sounds of it, he came back after Modeste had already died.
I always thought it was just a legend. But if it's true, then this must be the place where they found their secret ingredient, the birthplace of Dato de Boer.
In that case, what does that say about the death of Modeste? If it's all true, maybe Savelli really did have something to do with it.
Je veux dire, j'étais mute, je parlais tout seul. Continuons à lire.
The taste of Gâteau de Boer has changed. Modeste was convinced of this, even though everyone swore they couldn't tell. Being the perfectionist that he was, he refused to accept even the slightest flaw in his work. He stopped all sales of the product, locked himself away in the kitchen, and worked day and night, vowing to find out where he had gone wrong. But as he baked and taste tested over and over again, he found he only strayed further and further from the original taste. It was only when he was sipping on coffee
Alors, on va
one
savoir
day
le secret
and realized he could
inavouable
taste the bitterness
qu'il
that the
cache.
truth finally dawned on him. What had changed was not the gâteau, but his sense of taste.
Oh.
The treasure
Oh
of
mon
Remoria
Dieu.
stimulates the senses, taste included, and invigorates the spirit. In the short term, it offers people the ultimate gourmet experience. But in
Ben,
the
long
long term,
terme,
it
long
dulls their
terme.
senses entirely.
Oh, ok, c'est pour ça que
In
vous pouvez
hindsight,
vous.
it made perfect sense. After all, why would a culture that sought liberation from the constraints of their bodies care for the loss of their senses? But we realized it too late. We were just too late. Over the course of his many culinary experiments, Modeste exhausted the remaining supply of the treasure of Remoria. He consumed it all himself. The finest culinary talent of his generation now faced a future in which he would never be able to taste anything ever again.
Il a mis fin
Finally,
lui-même à ses
in
jours.
despair,
Ah oui.
he took his own life. And because we had become estranged, I could not be there to stop him, to offer some words of comfort, or even to say goodbye. Yet despite everything, he sent me his final letter.
The treasure of Remoria? Guess Monica was really onto something. It really was a kind of drug.
So, Modeste chose to end his own life. Then, why
Elle
all
aurait
the
pas fait tout
rumors
ça,
that
Monica, si
Savelli
elle était
murdered
pas
him?
sûre.
Also, neither the Codex nor any other contemporary records make any mention of the treasure of Remoria. It's almost as if someone deliberately erased it from history.
Ouais, mais
Modeste
c'était
told me
pas mieux
everything
comme
in his
ça.
final letter. His was a tale of how even a genius could fail, and how much more devastating it is when it happens. Did he hope I would gain some personal catharsis from knowing the truth? Or maybe he wished for me to warn the public about the dangers of Gâteau de Boer, proving that I had been right all along. But if the public ever learned how Modeste's greatest triumph became his undoing, his fall from grace would be swift and merciless. 1 minute a genius, the next a joke. It would surely spell the end for his restaurant too. What would be his legacy then? How would future generations view everything we built together? I fear the scorn I have faced these last years would pale in comparison to the scorn shown to him by the history books. I cannot let that come to pass.
Non, alors tu vas prendre tout sur toi, c'est ça?
I will do what I must to protect his name. It will mean tampering with his notes to remove the damning details, leaving mere fragments of our story behind. It may lead his family to suspect me of having a hand in his demise. But if that's the price of destroying all evidence of my crimes, then so be it. I would rather the world believe a tale of genius and jealousy than see his reputation in tatters. The final loose end is the evidence here, at the bottom of the sea.
Oh non, on doit arrêter mon caille, vite!
What's wrong? Didn't we say Savannah should be safe for now?
So we thought, but if Monica finds out what happened to the treasure, there's no telling what she might do.
Oh, il y a plus de trésor du coup. Je sens qu'elle va être énervée, Monica, et elle va beaucoup crier. Si vous êtes prêts à l'entendre, on va y aller. Je dis ça en continuant de marcher. Oh! Elle a l'air
The treasure of
vivante.
Remoria. I have found you at last. Savelli, you tried your best to bury the truth, but you underestimated the children of Modeste. Some fragments of his diary escaped your clutches, and we have held on to them for generations. But I have to thank you too, Savannah. Without your help retrieving the codex, and with it the last piece of the puzzle, I may never have found this place. But now, finally, the secret to Remoria's military might is within my grasp.
Et lui, il a l'air vivant à
The
côté.
treasure
Hein.
of Remoria is mine!
La statue, en tout cas. Mais la statue. Oh mon Dieu!
It's empty.
Oh non!
It's empty!
Ça a pas l'air vide, mais
Monica?
apparemment c'est vide.
Oh, we were seconds too late.
Escoffier? What's the deal with that jar?
Savelli's final act. He wanted to conceal the secret of the treasure forevermore and make sure it would never harm anyone again. So he came here after his friend's death and destroyed every last shred that remained.
Parfait.
This can't be happening. All the years I spent piecing together the truth. All my painstaking planning. All that for an empty jar?
Oui.
Monica?
Exactement.
Don't do anything
Wow, ma
stupid.
voix.
This ruin is more dangerous than you realize.
Oh, shut your pie hole!
Et maintenant, qu'est-ce qui va se passer? Ah, je me disais aussi que les statues. Oh! Je me disais que les statues allaient bouger. Mourir barbare! Et bien sûr, on va la protéger, parce qu'il y a personne qui meurt là-dedans.
A nutcase! A liability to herself
Voilà,
and
c'est
everyone else.
bien.
Well, now it's up to us to clean up the mess she's made.
C'est parti.
Take these golems out.
Les golems, hein? T'inquiète, ça devrait être plutôt simple, les golems. Aïe, j'ai dit ça en me faisant défoncer par des golems. Wow, 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 wow. Hop là. Et c'est fini. Parce qu'elle va s'auto-détruire, on dirait. À cause des combats, peut-être.
Either way, it's all her fault. Enough chit-chat. Let's get out of here, traveler Escoffier. Come on!
Okay, I'm coming.
Oh!
Oh, no, you don't. If I can't
Elle a un
get
fusil
what
en
I
plus.
want, neither will any of you. I've got nothing to show for my life's work so far. But if I can take another so-called genius down with me in my final moment, then it was all worth it.
You're a psycho.
Exactement. Yeah. Woohoo.
Savannah? Oh, when did you wake up?
Je me disais aussi que
I may
Savannah
be a
allait se
lousy
réveiller.
chef, but it looks like I'm not a complete waste of space.
Et on doit vite sortir d'ici.
Traveler? Okay, let's go!
Ah, et on laisse... on laisse Monica là, d'accord. Je pensais qu'on allait au moins essayer de la récupérer pour qu'elle aille finir sa vie dans la forteresse de Méropide, mais bon. Est-ce qu'on va courir? Ou on va être sorti directement? Je pense qu'on va être sorti directement.
Escoffier! Savannah!
Traveler and Paimon!
Traveler and Paimon! J'adore son accent.
What did you expect us to do? Stay at the restaurant and sit on our merry derrieres? While the Traveler and Escoffier were out here risking their lives?
We had to do something. Even though that something ended up being, well, waiting for you here instead.
I don't deserve any of you. And I certainly don't deserve to be your head chef. It was my fault Escoffier had to leave. Then I couldn't live up to her standards. I acted like a tyrant in the kitchen. And now I almost got myself killed. Come back, Escoffier. Come and be our head chef again. I'll never be able to replace you.
Okay, so everything I said to you the day I left, it just went in one ear and out the other?
Huh? Sorry, I was kinda in my own head at the time. All I could think about was the Lumiline situation. What was it you said again?
Forget it. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I didn't leave this job because of you. And you're not nearly as awful a chef as you think. If you were that bad, why would all your staff show up here for you?
Escoffier's right.
Ben,
Sure,
pas
you
tout
nitpick
ton
our work
staff,
and
là,
get
sinon
us
ça
to
ferait
do
pas
things
beaucoup de
over a
personnes, mais bon.
lot. But when it comes down to it, you're the one who's always doing whatever it takes to make sure the customers get served on time, every time.
Things were pretty rough after Escoffier left, and Savannah's the only reason we've been able to make it through.
Our customers know that Escoffier doesn't work for us anymore. But the fact is, they keep coming back. If that's not an endorsement of your work, I don't know
Endorsement
what
of your
is.
work.
At the end of the day, we're all human, and we all make mistakes. All we can do is recognize where we get it wrong and do our best to improve. That's all that's humanly possible.
Humanly possible.
I get what you're saying, but what I did to Firmin and to Escoffier, it's unforgivable.
C'est vrai.
Well, about that, there's someone else here to see you, Chef.
Ah oui, c'est qui, Firmin?
It's been a while,
Oh
Chef Savannah.
Firmin? Firmin?
I'm so sorry. I put far too much pressure on you. And the way I stubbornly refused to go and see you after you fell ill. There's no excuse. But I'm too late, aren't I? The damage is done. I heard that you can't even hold a kitchen knife anymore.
Actually, I think I'm going to be just fine.
Ah oui? Et comment t'es arrivé
We
à faire ça?
thought Firmin's problem was purely psychological in nature. But after the threat letter came to light, it got Firmin thinking.
Oh.
And then he remembered the tea that Monica used to give him every night. And as it turns out, she was lacing it with Lumaline the whole time.
Ah,
No
c'était
way.
sûr.
Doesn't that cause nerve damage?
Je savais que la drogue
It
allait avoir
can.
rapport quelque part.
High doses pose a risk of serious nervous and sensory complications. But if you calculate the dosage carefully, you can control the extent of its effects.
Donc
A
elle n'en était pas
small
beaucoup.
dose might simply make a person more emotional, whether that mean more fragile or more hot-tempered.
No wonder it seemed like you'd lost your edge.
I asked my friends at the Fontaine Research Institute about it. They said that with the low dose I was taking, the risks are pretty small. They also fixed me up with some meds and said I should recover in no time.
Vous avez déjà l'air beaucoup plus confiant.
Well, that's what happens when you give someone a little bit of hope to cling on to. There's more.
Ah oui?
We believe that Firma was
je l'ai dit au début du live.
Monica's only victim.
You mean she poisoned me too?
Je le savais.
Oh, so that's why Savannah's been
Je l'ai dit au début.
this whole time.
J'en étais sûr.
Let's not be too quick to blame everything on the Lumiline. That stuff can only amplify what's already there. So tasty food will seem like the most delicious thing in the world, while food you don't particularly care for will become utterly revolting. So you better make sure you reflect on your behavior and apologize to every single person you've wronged.
I will. I'm sorry. There's still one question that's really bugging me.
Ah oui, c'est vrai ça. Il a toujours pas dit.
That no matter what I do, my Gâteau de Bourg never tastes the same as yours. Is it just... I mean, is it because you're a genius and I'm not?
Attends, on va voir.
It's
Je me demande
because
c'est quoi
the
le petit
heating
truc.
element in your oven is broken, you silly goose.
C'est tout?
What?
C'est tout?
I felt like something was off during the cooking contest. Once I got around to checking all the equipment, I noticed it right away. There was a half-degree discrepancy between the temperature
Un
setting and
demi-degré,
the
ça a
actual
changé tout
temperature.
le goût du gâteau.
All the ovens in the whole kitchen had the same problem, which confused me at the time, but by this point, it's pretty obvious that Monica must have tampered with them.
Elle a tout
I
fait
would have
ça.
figured it out the day of the bake-off, since the issue affected both our teams. But of course, Monica sabotaged mine so that could never happen.
Bien sûr.
No. I spent so long trying to find out where I was going wrong, and then you pinpoint the problem in just one night? It all comes back to one simple, undeniable truth.
Ah, bah arrêtez de se
You're
rabaisser,
a
elle.
genius. And I'm just plain old Savannah.
Oh, cut it out! Stop the woe is me act for a second and just think. I came up with this recipe. You don't think that might have something to do with it?
Un
Do
peu,
you
oui.
know how long I spent perfecting my Gâteau de Bourg? 3 years! 3 whole years! I know this dish inside out, back to front and upside down. And you've been head chef now for what, 6 months? If that? A couple hundred failed attempts, and you're gonna throw in the kitchen towel and declare you'll never be successful because you're not a genius. You clearly have no idea how many kitchen failures I've had under my belt, or just how long it took me to finally get my recipe to a level I was satisfied with.
On dirait pas une...
Genius or not, everyone makes
prodige.
mistakes.
On dirait une
Modeste
personne
did,
normale, plutôt.
Savelli did, everyone does. You're only a lousy chef if you don't face up to your mistakes, learn from them, and then keep chipping away until you crack the problem once and for all. Surely you haven't forgotten all that. You were no lousy chef back when I handed you the reins.
I haven't forgotten. And I'll make sure I never do.
That's our head chef.
Wow, il est bizarre, lui.
Sounds like we won't need another changing of the guard in the Hôtel de Bord kitchen anytime soon. Huzzah!
Aw, what a perfect ending to a crazy
Yay, maintenant faut applaudir.
Look how happy everyone
Woo! Yeah!
So you got your mojo back now?
Yeah. Thanks to you, Escoffier. In fact, no. Thanks to all of you.
Aw, friends again.
Yay!
Finally settled their beef.
Oui, ça fait plaisir, mais il reste encore quelque chose.
Good. So now that's out of the way.
Oh!
It's time for
Oh,
payback.
oh.
You
Hey.
cheated in our last bake-off, and I demand a rematch right now.
Je me disais aussi,
I,
elle était un peu trop énervée après avoir perdu.
But that was mostly Monica's fault, wasn't it?
Ouais, maintenant il va en refaire un.
Right. And also, does it have to be right now? Savannah's only just got her mojo back, and you barely escaped from a death trap.
Rien à battre.
No excuses.
C'est
This
ça,
is a
hein?
cooking
Ouais.
contest between
C'est
two
sûr.
top chefs, and nothing will stand in its way. So grab your spatula and get ready, because this rematch is happening today.
Aujourd'hui?
Right now, this
Ah oui.
instant.
Hey, so, this whole time you were salty about losing?
Ah, c'est sûr. Ah, ok, ils refont ça en cinématique.
Second cooking contest commences now.
Allez,
This time, no more games.
c'est sûr qu'Escoffier
no
gagne.
holding back.
Oh yeah! Ok. Et c'est fait. On était rapide là, non? Hey, il brille! Parfait ça. Goûtez-y maintenant. C'est le meilleur gâteau que vous avez jamais mangé. C'est quoi, Food Wars? Ça s'est transformé en Food Wars en 2 secondes là.
I feel like I don't have the right to be here.
Hey, what are you so afraid of? You can't unbake it now. And if you don't serve it, then good or bad, you'll never find out how to improve. If you're too scared to fail, you'll never know what real success tastes like.
Je suis sûr qu'ils vont dire qu'ils goûtent pareil.
Embrace your failure. Taste it. Digest it. That's the way to success.
I don't know. Sounds like it's easier said than done.
I'll do it.
Et donc, on n'a pas le résultat final. Ok, c'est correct.
The results are in! A land
Tu m'étonnes.
Quite rightly, too. Piece of cake.
Fait qu'il est aussi contente du résultat. On dirait bien.
Oh yeah, look at that! Savannah looks pretty chipper too, considering she lost.
Vous ne l'avez pas fait pour vous, hein? Vous l'avez fait pour Savannah. Ah, elle va-tu l'avouer?
Now, where
No.
were we? Yes. Do you have any more questions for me after everything that's happened?
Quels sont vos projets après ça?
I thought Navia would have filled you in. And actually, I said all this to Savannah before I left. Although, as we saw, I don't think any of it sank in.
Et donc?
I had 2 reasons for leaving. One was the food safety incident, of course. But the other was that the Hotel de Boer had reached a point where it didn't need me anymore. So I decided to step down and look for new opportunities to improve myself.
Improve how?
Ouais, c'est ça. Qu'est-ce
Well,
que tu
a
vas faire,
while
du coup?
back, I got to know a fellow chef from
Liu?
Niue.
Oh,
and in her,
Shang-Li?
I saw so many
Je le
new
savais.
possibilities.
C'est sûr.
She has that same adventurous spirit that Modeste and Sibeli had in their youth. Slime mucus, lizard tails. With her, nothing's off the table.
Yep.
There's a
On la
whole
connaît nous aussi.
world of new
T'inquiète.
flavors out there waiting to be explored, hiding away in ingredients we overlook. Case in point, remember those Romaritime flowers down in the ruins? I used them in the cooking contest just now. Did you taste the difference?
What? Paimon didn't notice at all.
Half of the art of cooking is dissecting the recipes of previous chefs and figuring out the exact constellation of elements that gave their work its signature taste. And the other half, it lies in freeing yourself from the confines of the kitchen. You've got to go out and explore the endless possibilities out there.
Uh-oh. Paimon's suddenly not sure she wants to try your cooking anymore.
Moi, je me porte toujours volontaire pour être votre goûteur.
Don't worry, it's not going to be a free-for-all like in Modeste's time. Before I put anything into my food, I'll obviously do my research. Make sure it doesn't contain any harmful substances.
Ouais, j'espère que c'est
In the
comestible.
meantime,
Elle
take
pensait quoi?
this. It's a recipe for Petit Gâteau de Boer, revised
Oh,
version.
un petit gâteau
I
de bord.
tweaked it to suit your needs as busy adventurers. Hope
Ah,
you enjoy,
merci.
and remember, feedback is
Je me demande
always
ce qu'il faut pour
welcome.
faire le petit gâteau des bords.
All right. So, do you ever see yourself returning to Hotel de Boer?
Oh, of course. I've already promised Vanish M that I'll come back every once in a while to make sure the quality of the food remains at an acceptable level.
Bon courage, Savannah.
You know, Paimon's still a little disappointed that we never got to see the treasure of Remoria. Surely Monica wouldn't have gotten drawn
Si elle
in
dit
so
ça, Paimon, c'est qu'il va se
deeply
passer
if it
quelque chose
wasn't
d'autre.
for all the mystery surrounding the original Gâteau de Boer. She practically dedicated her life to finding the lost pieces of Modeste's diary. Then went to all that trouble to infiltrate the Hotel de Boer. And in the end, it was all for nothing.
Elle a vendu son âme pour un rêve qui ne se réalisera jamais. En investissant toute son énergie dans du vide, sa vie est devenue une blague.
Since you mentioned the treasure, between Modeste's writings and what we saw in those ruins, I think I may have figured out the truth. The so-called treasure of Remoria was most likely a substance that the Remorians extracted from Lumitoiles, better known to us as Lumiline.
Ah.
Huh? So then, why all the hype back in the early days of Gâteau de Boer?
Don't forget, it was a very different era. We could barely even refine sugar back then. So desserts were very much in their infancy. In a world of bland food, it's no wonder that the first thing to really excite people's taste buds took the world by storm. And as for the Lumiline, it may well have been somewhat valuable in ancient times. But these days, it's just another drug from the Fontaine Research Institute. Even if Savelli hadn't destroyed it all, I doubt it would be worth that much these days.
So after all that, there was nothing in those ruins but worthless junk. Feels strange to say it, but Paimon almost feels sorry for Monica. She sacrificed it all only to get nothing in return.
Pauvre Paimon, pauvre Monica.
Oh, hey! Huh? Navia?
Qu'est-ce que tu fais ici,
You
Navia?
just got back
Pensais
from
pas
that
qu'on allait te
underwater
revoir.
ruin, right? Well, check it out. They ran a special issue.
Un numéro spécial?
Did you see anything like this down there? Freshly unearthed from the ruins of Remoria. A magnificent jar thought to be over 1,000 years old.
Pot.
Experts say it has immense artistic and historical value. It could be worth an absolute fortune.
Et comment ils l'ont retrouvé?
Wait, isn't that the jar they used to hold the treasure?
Oh.
If only it was still in one piece. Some
Ah,
butterfingers must
quel
have dropped it or
dommage,
something.
hein?
It's such a shame.
Est-ce que ça veut dire que Monica est encore vivante? Parce que sinon, bon, personne n'aurait pu le ramener. Bon, ben maintenant que c'est fini, j'ai le gâteau, hein? Ben, attendez. Déjà, on va aller se récupérer notre dû. Voilà. Je pense que je peux me faire un peu. Yes. Et on va le faire là, bien sûr. Et ça serait incroyable si je l'ai là, avec vous. Allez. Et ben non. Bon. J'aurais de monter. J'en avais juste un de toute façon. Je suis à combien? Moi, je me demande je suis à combien. Alors, ça fait 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 56. Je suis encore assez loin de l'avoir. Peut-être que je vais avoir Skirk tout seul finalement. Non, je sais qu'il y a d'autres choses que je peux faire, genre... Ici, il disait que c'est mieux de faire l'autre mission avant, donc je vais me faire la quête plus tard. Je sais pas c'est quoi la quête, mais peu importe. Il y a aussi une nouvelle... un nouveau intermède. Et je vais tout me faire ça. Et je vais peut-être l'avoir d'ici là. Pour l'instant, juste me récupérer mes petites récompenses et on va arrêter le live là-dessus. Parce que c'est ça que je voulais faire en fait, c'est juste l'histoire. Et ça a duré un peu de temps, quoique j'ai pris un peu de temps moi aussi pour aller faire un petit truc, mais bon, hein. C'est pas si grave que ça. Ah oui, c'est vrai, je vais voir le... Oui, je vais faire ça après, juste 2 secondes.
Thank you for
On se récupère mes trucs. Je peux pas m'en refaire un, hein. Non, il me manque 60 que... J'ai peut-être une idée comment avoir. Ah, j'ai juste 33. Je peux juste avoir 50. Ça marchera pas. Est-ce que j'ai... Non, j'ai pas de succès. Ok, peu importe. Alors, cuisiner. Recette. Apprendre. Alors, il est où? Déjà, est-ce que je peux le faire? Je pense pas que ça a l'air ça, non. Mais ça commence sûrement par gâteau. Peut-être petit. Non. En tout cas, il était mauve. Oui, c'est ça. Alors, j'ai ça. Les œufs. Il manque la farine et la crème. Ouais, c'est ça. Ok. Et ben, ça va être tout pour aujourd'hui. Sur ce, merci d'avoir regardé ce live. Je vous dis à la prochaine. Et aussi, je vais vous prévenir tout de suite. Bientôt, en fait, cet été, à partir, je sais pas de quand, on va dire juillet, je vais pouvoir faire beaucoup plus de live. Peut-être pas tous les jours non plus, faut pas exagérer, mais beaucoup plus de live. Il va falloir donc que je trouve d'autres jeux. Ça va être intéressant. Sur ce, je vous dis à la prochaine et bye bye!